Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. I cannot thank you guys enough. Today, we have quite a few structured topics to talk about. Again, and also some free form, again, because there's quite a lot of stuff to talk about. Plus, your topic, whatever topic you bring, as long as it is transfer or anything that makes sense, we will talk about it because it is, in fact, interactive here. It is inclusive. We're family here. Like Leandro said yesterday, we're the Chelsea, again, perspective community. So, yes, you're welcome to present you whatever topic you want us to talk about, and I'll let you know when to start doing that. So, sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, again, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Please, as you're coming in, take a second to drop a like on the video. Let's try and get it to 100 likes today by the time the show ends. We haven't done that in a while since the transfer window shut, but we can actually do it only if you think we can do it. But it starts by you liking the stream as you arrive. So thank you so much, people. Let's get into it. Let's see what we have already there. As usual, I'd be surprised again if anybody joins first and it's not Liam Lane. So I want to say thank you to you. You know how much I appreciate all your support and everything you've done to the channel. Thank you so much. And I will never forget it. First, you won, again, you won $50. Yes. And as I reached out to give it to you, you asked me again to keep it for the channel as your super chat. I appreciate that. I'll never stop thanking you about that. Again, please like and subscribe to the channel. But again, to Chelsea Perspective, as it helps the channel grow and brings us a greater Chelsea content. Yeah, it helps us reach more people. It helps us reach a wider audience. And the more people we have here, the truth remains, the more, again, the chance of everybody here to learn our stuff, because you have variations of opinions, which means so much to learn. Bring these players by Werner again, when we perform. Yeah, you think so? We have talked about Werner before, and I've made my argument, and I've told you how, again, Werner is a good player, and he didn't do anything wrong at Chelsea. I mean, you can say he wasn't consistent enough, but one thing you never take away from Werner is how hardworking he was, how he never sulks no matter what goes on the pitch. He still gives 100%, and you can say that's why majority of the Chelsea fan base love him. Again, bring Ronaldo, that's never going to happen. Again, he sorted out the issues he has with Manchester United. They've moved on, and chances are he stays on there. Even if he leaves, I don't think it'd come to us, but it's not up to me. Big up, coach, and everyone. My brother, again, Tobago, I can't wait for us to bring the fight to your domain again. It was fun the last time with Roger and everyone else who found time to be there. I hope you're doing well, bro. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Again, hit the like button, says Tobago, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Yes, people. As you're coming in, drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And TC, again, hi, coach. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Again, thanking God for life. Top of the day to you, Coachella, and the crew. Top of the day to you too, brother, my Niger brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Again, I hope your wishes come through today. Again, thank you for saying that. It's been a minute or so. I hope you're doing well. Temitope, and if you're in the chat, if you can think of any good, again, free agent you think the club should be looking at, bring it up and we will talk about it. I appreciate that. Sorry, my bracelet can't stay in my hand. I have to take it off. Okay, here we have again, all good. Okay, thank you so much, Liam Lynn. I cannot thank you enough. Thank to YouTube. They opened new features. That means I can try to get more subs now. Yeah, to my channel. Yep, and apologies. I think I told Ty the wrong time when they announced it was going to come out soon. Yeah, again, make the most of it. Again, post delicious content for for people, because you can reach even a broader audience from that, from the community tab, and that will go a long way. Hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel. Again, I will appreciate that. Thank you so much, and don't forget to show the link to your own channel too. After what I saw yesterday, I want Rice at Chelsea. So look at you, Tobago. Now you and I are fighting. You're one of those that judge. Yeah, he was good. I saw that too. You're one of those that judge a player based on one performance. Rice has always been good. My question has always been, will he work at Chelsea? I never talk about whether he's bad or not. The question has always been, will he, does he fit into how, again, Thomas Tuchel then, will he fit into what Thomas Tuchel wants to do? At that point, I say no, really. Even Graham Potter, it's difficult to tell. But again, it's not me. If Potter wants him, then probably he sees him, again, a fit good enough to help make his project better. 300 likes would do. Let's push it, guys. Yeah. Oh, okay. Tobago says not even 100. Let's go for 300, and we will take that. Rice played well. That's for sure. He played quite well. Liam, again, I enjoyed watching him. It was a good game of football overall. Timo is a hard worker. You can't take that away from him, and we know that. Good day, everyone. Supreme. What? Good day to you too, brother. Thank you so much. We had an excellent show yesterday. It was enjoyable. Again, it was a lot of differing opinions or contributions that made it very enjoyable. Talisman, again, just keep the list. I'll let you know when to bring it back. Okay, let me just highlight it. So I'll go back to it again. Hello, everyone. Hello to you too. Hello, coach. Hello to you too, Kimso. Bless you. Thank you so much for finding the time to join here. How can a club slip on a Talisman? He's worth 35 million. We have to look at his numbers to, again, if he's produced good enough number to be a Chelsea player. To me, again, as much as I think he's good, I don't really think he's good enough for Chelsea. That's how I see it, really. But we'll see. And Leicester, I think they're trying everything they can to keep him out of the club. Didn't they give him the captainship of late? Again, or maybe it was just for the game I watched or something. You let me know. Again, he's a good player overall, but I don't think we want him at Chelsea. Have I read this? I hope stupid Chelsea didn't kill your weekend, guys. Oh, whoa. Oh, you think it wasn't easy to sleep? Actually, I want Talisman. It got worse when, again, some people, really you have to think about it. Whether you think Arsenal don't have, a squad depth to win the league or not, you have to think about it, given how well they've done. And yeah, you know what they have, even if they don't have a squad depth in terms of big names, they have the spirit. Look at who came on when Bukayo Saka got injured. What's his name again? Look how well he did. Again, if you don't know his name, everybody knew his name was it under 15 minutes or so? I'm not sure the length of time it took him to announce himself. So that just shows you, even if they don't have the squad depth in terms of big names, they have the spirit. They want to win it. And that makes a whole lot of difference, because you can have the biggest names in the world. If you don't have the spirit, you're not going to do anything. So please, again, as you're coming in, don't forget to smash the like button. We need to get it to 100 likes today. That's for me, but Tobago says we can go for 300, and believe me, we can actually do that. So again, keep dropping the likes on the video as you're coming in. Again, let's push for it. Let me see what we have here. I prefer Benessa over Rice, to be honest. Okay, again, elaborate more why you think you prefer Benessa, and I'll be glad to read it. Again, that's why we're here. It's an interactive show. It's about you. It's about the panelists. It's about all of us. We're family here. That's why, again, it is Chelsea perspective. Again, nobody is bigger than the other person. We're together. Again, like I said, I'm still working on the just to make to prioritize the OGs here, those who followed the channel for a longer time. I'll create a free membership to always prioritize their contributions in the chat, and I hope to get it done today. Talisman can shoot from midfield. He's better than any midfielders in our team. But we're going to look at his numbers, really. I wouldn't say he'd be able to do what Jorginho can do for us. I can't say he'd be able to do what Kante can do for us. I can't even say maybe again because he's traditional in midfield. Maybe he'd be more productive than Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but that midfield area isn't what again. Ruben Loftus-Cheek a preferred position or traditional position. Other than that, I don't think I don't think we should actually bother going for him really. Ronaldo is more about money. Not really. If it was about money, then he'd go to Qatar. Was it Qatar or what country offered him nearly 100 million or so, or more than that? I'm not sure the numbers. I just don't want to be giving you numbers out of my wazoo here. It's not about money. You can say if you say it's all about the glory for him, like winning more. It's about him being the top goal scorer. It's about him winning more Ballon d'Ors. Then I say maybe that's it. More trophies actually, but again in a selfish way. More trophies isn't a bad thing, but usually it's about what him being the top guy. And again, it looks like that has changed a bit. He must have had a conversation with Ten Hag again to give him a leading role, but I wouldn't want him at Chelsea even at that. Tielemans is a good player. Not sure he'd fit our current system though. Again, and how many goals does he create? Does he create really? That we have to look at the numbers too. But we'll get to Tielemans in a bit. Nelson again, coach. Okay, tell us more about him and I'll highlight it. We'll talk about him in a bit. Again, Arsenal is a scary prospect in the coming. They are. Again, I was thinking, okay, you know what? They don't have a deep enough squad, but the team spirit is bigger than a deep enough squad. Last season, you can say we have a deep enough squad. Again, when we still had Rudiger, Christensen, and other players we had in the team, we had a deep enough squad, but it doesn't look like the spirit was there. The spirit is key. It doesn't matter the names you have in your team. Again, big up, coach. Big up to you too, Mason. God day. I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you. And then my follow same to you. Again, to my brother, hello, Paul. It's been a while, brother. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Big up, coach. Big up to you too. It's not a fault. Again, it's not a Graham Potter's fault. It is. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Again, it's the UK government is responsible for Chelsea's misfortune because we were not even thinking about such low-class coach. Chelsea. I was thinking you were going to say what happened wasn't his fault. Yeah, it was other reasons and all that. Again, here's where you're taking me to. Chelsea always goes for high-class coaches. Here's the thing. That actually brings to mind the issues we had that led to us not joining the market on time. Because at the point where all the clubs were busy talking to players, really rectifying the issues that they witnessed in the past season in the squad, we were busy fighting for the survival of our club. Tell me again when for instance, when Darwin Núñez, when the Darwin Núñez deal was wrapped up by Liverpool, we were still busy saying, we weren't sure whether the club will exist in a few months or so, whether we're going to go down and all that. So again, if we're considering that, you can say we didn't do enough research in terms of where we need to rectify due to the sanctions then. But that's by the way, we move on from it. Chelsea always goes for high class. Again, Kimso, Maguire is useless in Man United. Oh, yeah, go ahead, have the conversation with Kimso. And big up, coach. Blue morning to you. Blue morning to you too, Queen of the House. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Coach Boehly will sack you. Well, again, I want to get the letter, really. Again, and I'll frame it and tell him I'm not leaving my job. Hi, everyone. Here we have, again, Ronaldo isn't coming. Really. Again, if he comes, I'd be surprised. Again, if he comes, I'd support him. But again, he comes with more than just the goals he will score. He comes with more than just, again, the money he will fetch the club in terms of his commercial, what's the term? But his commerciality, if that even exists, but I think that will help you understand what I wanted to say. Well, Vanessa has great leadership skills, and he's, again, tackling and reading of the game is top-notch. Again, press resistance to, again, would combine well with Kovacic. Maybe it's a good idea. Yeah, you're saying it's going to be available on a free what time? The coming summer? When you hear Gallagher saying Brighton wanted it more says it all. Even do his teammates wouldn't be happy with him, but he's truthful. You could say again, even though it wasn't his best performance on the day, he did quite well, really. He did a lot of running, and I didn't expect him to start that game. I didn't expect him to start that game, given again the amount of running he did against Salzburg. Really, a lot of them shouldn't have started, but again, we move on. You know, I fixed the result. It ended 5-4. Chelsea won by 5-4. A big up, coach, a panel in chat. And the Other Time podcast, brother, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. If you haven't, again, go check out the Other Time podcast YouTube channel. If you're here, you're a moderator, and I've told you that before. You always have, again, go ahead, share the link to your channel so people can go check it out. Again, coach, again, yeah. he says retire first. Okay, I'm not going to retire. I'm staying here until he comes and talks about it one-on-one. Caicedo, again, isn't worth 85 million, but they're just trying to keep him. We'll look at his contract too when we get to that. Smash the like button, people. 21 likes. We can do better than that. Again, and in a bit, I'll talk about Caicedo. Chelsea will smash Arsenal on Sunday, aka injured. Again, Saliba suspended. Jesus suspended too. I just, you can say the charity FC factor isn't cured yet, or disease isn't cured yet. It's well and truly in effect. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe the new manager bounce isn't quite, again, it hasn't, you can say, faded away completely. Maybe this, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll get a reaction there. Benitez contract ends at the end of next season, but Milan are struggling with extension talks. He only wants 80K. He only wants 80K a week. Very, again, manageable for us. If he wants just 80K a week, chances are, if we don't try to sign him now, time he'd be a free agent, the other clubs will be interested too. And you know who signed the most of free agents in the summer? Yes, last season it was Barcelona, and they said they'll do more of that this coming window. But that's, by the way, again, and it can. I think I should add, Frank Casey is going to be. He isn't going to be a free agent, but I think we should talk about him on whether we should actually be looking at him. He's a good footballer. But before I do that, I want to say hello to my brother, Tobago. How are you doing, bro? I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show.
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Fine. I can't complain. Again, yeah, I was just saying how, again, I was looking forward to bringing the fight to your domain. We haven't done that after that delicious one we did. But good to hear that you're doing well. Again, if you are in the chat, if you haven't, please do take a second to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It's important that you do so. I'm hearing, Tobago, that, okay, first, let me ask you this, really. Because I'm going to ask you this question because the truth remains, we're stuck with Lukaku, given how much we owe Inter Milan, first of all. Plus, again, what's happening to my connection? It looks like I just got knocked off. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. I'm going to try to sort this out as soon as possible. But what is going on here? What is going on here?
I can hear you, Coach.
Oh, okay. So I was going to ask you, so that just means my screen is frozen. I was going to ask you again, since Lukaku went back to Inter, would you say he's actually done well?
To be honest, from my side, he haven't done well due to that he's having a lot of injuries at the moment at Inter Milan. So I don't know what is the issue. Every time when he's fit, he gets another injury. So that's the issue at the moment. And then also we wish that he can work out at Inter Milan so that he can return back at Chelsea. But at the moment, doesn't look good because Inter Milan can say no. We don't want to keep him anymore because he's getting a lot of injuries.
Yeah, and do you want him back at Chelsea?
To be honest, from my side, I can say yes, I can say no. It's the club decision, the stuff. But again, from my side, I don't want him back due to that interview. And then after what he did, He didn't try to rectify that mistake, staying at Chelsea for another season to rectify that mistake, played for us. He decided to push to go back to Inter Milan. So clearly it's not loyal enough to Chelsea fans. So I don't want him back. But again, it's a club decision.
Yes, again, the most concerning aspect of the whole thing for me is that, again, he was dissing the club, really. He dissed the club, and then he scored and kissed the Inter badge. That's not a good sign for me. So I wouldn't, again, I really do not want him back at Chelsea. And if you can still hear me, I'll try and rectify. I'm not sure why my screen is frozen, but if you can still see me, that's fine. That's even better. I think I can continue to see if the issue gets solved. If not, I'll find another solution. Just give me a second here. I'm going to get in with from the deck. Tobacco, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Perfect.
Okay, if you can still hear me, I'll keep talking until it's unfreezes, and I think I'll find a solution. I'll add the deck. I'll add the deck so that, again, yeah, I see what it's doing here, but I should be able to switch the comments with the deck. And here, again, I have this from, just saying hi to people here. It says, again, Jorginho and Alba should start, but we're not talking about the matches yet. We're talking about transfers at this point. And here we have, again, a big up, just saying hello to Just Viola. Again, why is it 9-0, coach? Chelsea are playing on Wednesday. I'm not sure what you're talking about in the match, seriously, if you guys can still hear me. Again, a long and a short, again, that is a Chelsea, long and short, is that a Chelsea's way over Porter's head? He doesn't have, again, the acumen to manage a big club like Chelsea. He doesn't have, again, the tactical nuance. He slaps, again, he's a slap bang, too average and predictable. I don't think predictable, he's not, really. He's one of the most unpredictable managers. And believe me, again, in terms of being predictable, I don't think he is actually predictable. But that's, by the way, we move on here. We'll see again. Lukaku should not come back to Chelsea. I want him gone. It is not just you. I don't think he's coming back. I think he's burnt at the breach. So him coming back, the possibility isn't really there. Here we have, again, I can see Todd Boehly buying out, again, his contract. Yeah, and Inter will play it in a way that, again, and again, they will just say, okay, keep him and give us a certain amount, again, because we owe them so much, really. We owe them so much. Again, Tobacco, if you can go ahead, talk about the Lukaku situation. Let me reset and come back in. Yeah, because my screen isn't looking good. It's blank now, so I have to shut down the window and come back in again if you can hear me.
Okay, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So, guys on the chat, like, if it's possible for Chelsea to get Lukaku back, what would you do? Because, like, some fans still love Lukaku, some fans still need Lukaku. And then, as a Chelsea fan, we already know this because our fan base are always divided. So, it's up to you guys. Like, for example, if Graham Potter and Todd Boehly can decide, no, next summer we don't buy another striker, we're going to bring Lukaku back. How would you feel as a Chelsea fan after what happened recently? So would you take him back? And if you come back and then he's starting scoring goals for fun and stuff, that just like the way he did at Inter Milan, the time they won the league, will you guys forgive him? So at the same time, I'm not sure about it, but again, as I said, like due to what he did last summer, I think last December, that interview, he should have even done that. Going behind the players, the coach, the club, talking about it's not happy at Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel promised him to play this and that. But again, guys, I have another different question to you guys as a fan. Like, for example, Chelsea got Lukaku from Inter Milan for 100 million. Do you think Thomas Tuchel did everything right on his powers to find a system that Lukaku can thrive? Not only just Lukaku, everyone can do well, because like if you can check Inter Milan stats and Chelsea stats for Lukaku, so different, huge difference. So why did Thomas Tuchel approve that signing and then not neutralizing the best out of Lukaku? Because now at the moment we are struggling due to what is happening. And then we don't have a striker that is clinical at Chelsea. I don't know why. So anyway, guys, let's just forget about Lukaku for now. I have another question for you guys, because now at the moment we can all see that we have a midfielder issue. So we've been linked with Elson Alvarez, Declan Rice, Moises Caicedo. So who will you choose, guys? Like your own preference. Like who will you choose? And on the chat, please let us know why do you want this player, why you don't want this player. And also, we've been linked with Moises Caicedo, and then now the rumors are saying like Brighton wants 85 million for him. So is he worth it? And then for the Brighton point of view, I feel like the reason why they're charging that price is because like it's still on a long-term contract. So it feels like they're trying all means to, okay, they try all means not to sell him to another team. So I understand the point of view. So as a Chelsea fan at the moment, if Chelsea can choose to buy a defensive midfielder from Rice, Elson Alvarez, Moises Caicedo, Ibrahim Sangari, Frank Kessie, who would you prefer, guys? Coach, I hope you're still around. You can hear me. So overall, guys, as you said, due to our recent performances, we can see in the midfield we are also struggling because we don't have enough squad depth in order to cover a lot of positions. And then at the moment, I feel like Kovacic and Jorginho, or I'll say Kovacic is the one at the moment I can trust to do a lot of things for us. But with other midfielders, they're just on and off. We're not sure about them. What will they do for Chelsea? Like, what can they offer us going forward? Because Kovacic against Brighton, he was doing well. He created a lot of chances. Unfortunately, we couldn't score them. And then against Brighton, I did enjoy watching Ruben Loftus-Cheek because, like, as I said, he was playing a Jorginho role. So I thought he will help our defense when we're being hidden by counter attacks and stuff. So it's all said, guys. So annoying. Let me just check on the chat. Like, what is your thoughts? Okay.
Rago, I have to really say you're amazing, brother. And again, I will pay you back big time. In most cases, there's been situations where, again, it hasn't happened too many times. Again, sometimes when such happens, you see the panelists, they just run away. But I appreciate you staying. Can you hear me, brother?
100%.
You're an amazing person. Again, God bless you. Again, you've been quite helpful here. Again, here I want to talk about something. Just real. Did I cut you off? Were you saying something?
No, go on, coach.
Okay. I want to look at what Just Viola, again, what she said here. I can see Todd Boehly buying out his contract. That's an option. And Italians, they do know how to play us in terms of taking our players for cheap. We should still be owing them around 60 million plus. That's not going to be a check. That's not a paycheck that's going to be easy to write off, because to make it up, we're talking about, again, owners who are, you could say, profit focused. But we must recognize Lukaku's, you could say, unprofessional behavior. What happened. We tried to forget about the interview like Tobago talked about. He went on again and started, the only thing, like I said, he didn't do was just release a diss track with Jay-Z against Chelsea. That's the only thing he didn't do. And he scored it for Inter Milan and kissed the badge. And Chelsea fans, though, they saw that too. Crazy to see Potter do the exact same thing to Khadid and be happy with it. Playing to accommodate certain players, Havertz and Mount again is killing the team ridiculous. Here's the thing. If I really would like to talk about this in detail, but we're here really to talk about transfers again. Maybe again before the pre-game show for the it was a Zagreb game. We'll talk about this. I think he's a bit again. He's subconsciously biased to some extent. I think so, really. But we'll see what happens. And here's the link to my brothers. Again, he's proven once again that he's a good person, and my brother too. Go check out Tobago's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe, please, to help him reach 100 subscribers. He needs just 19 more subscribers. Again, but since you're here, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for all the support. But more importantly, thank you to my brother Tobago for holding the fort for me while I was struggling to get the situation under control. We've seen the Brighton loss coming. Just like the Leeds game, again, two world-class wingers are playing defense. This again, I'm going to disagree with that one, but we'll talk about that in detail. In detail again during the pre-game show or when it isn't about transfer. But I get your frustration too. I definitely want Lukaku back, a world-class striker. Only 3 or 4. Again, you'd rather have a Chelsea fans stupid. I wouldn't use that time stupid. Again, strikers don't grow. And Tris, let's get it now. It depends on, given how Graham Potter plays, Lukaku's situation wouldn't be different than it was under Thomas Tuchel. I'd be surprised again. He'd do well, but I don't think he'd perform consistently. Really, same you could say the same thing again that's happening. You see how the cases of Raheem Sterling and Christian Pulisic hasn't changed on the Graham Potter because he has the same near the same philosophy. You can say nearly the same if you're comparing them with Dr. Thomas Tuchel. The only difference is that you see more vertical plays on the Graham Potter than we see that we saw under Thomas Tuchel. The difference in Thomas Tuchel's case, he defends by keeping the ball. Again, a more cautious approach again, but not packing the balls, but by keeping the ball. But that's, by the way, again, what we have here again. Supreme Court says our coach, okay, so talking about Coach Chris, again, I don't mind saying I'm worried by the things Potter is doing, like playing players out of position the same way TT did. That's actually the least of my concern. Managers do that these days. But my biggest concern is that if we're going to talk about this a bit, we talked about, again, how, again, the problem was, the problem we witnessed against Salzburg. And again, during the review show, we talked about how he shouldn't risk that in the Premier League. I believe Tobago was part of the show, Roger was part of the show, and Rodrigo was part of the show. And he went on and did it against a team that played high-octane football. Even, again, maybe he didn't look at the numbers, again, at what really transpired in the game against Salzburg. Maybe he was flattered by the result, because so many Chelsea fans were flattered too. We thought we mopped the floor with them. But I really want to move on to that one and talk about transfers in a bit. Again, I cannot wait for Arsenal game. I want to see how we handle, again, informed teams. I am not even, again, panicking, even though I was once the panic air pilot. The situation is understandable. But to me, I'd say Potter was a bit reckless with the selection. That's not me saying he's a bad manager. I still believe he can get the job done. But he needs to be, maybe you could say, be gradual about implementing his approach, really. But Thomas Tuchel did it. Kante did it. They didn't just, again, jump to, again, trying to implement the way they play. It took time, really. We just lost one game. I was expecting to draw. To me, it's beyond that game because that loss has been a long time coming. Again, we've been lucky actually not to have witnessed against such humiliating loss at least twice during the course of the 8 unbeaten game run that we had. Again, it seems Boehly will link himself with players. Would do well against us. That's a media really, not Boehly himself. He's like Mourinho in owner's version. You could argue that, but I think us being linked to certain players comes down to, again, the media, how they like to spin things off to get some people not really, not really the man himself. He probably doesn't know about the player in question. I don't want Lukaku back, and I think a vast majority of the fan base, yeah, but the sad thing is that we're really stuck with him. If we're being truthful, we're stuck with him. We need a solid DM who is still, again, press resistant, has such his qualities, why more physical and defensive status. We also need a creative CM. Everything you just talked about screams Billy Gilmour, unfortunately. Everything you just talk about, again, screams Billy Gilmour, Billy Gilmour, Billy Gilmour. But unfortunately, we sold him. Chelsea should have, again, signed Jesus. Maybe. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having, again, good morning to you too. Thanks for finding the time to join the show. And please like the stream, guys. We have 26 likes. It looks like we're going to do well today. So keep liking the stream and let's get it to 100 likes as soon as possible. We wouldn't be playing these players out of position if we didn't go, again, a back three. Again, yeah, the whole thing, the basic, the simple thing is just change the formation and have, again, these injuries come. January, we need a CDM, a right wing back to help James rest. Again, and right wing for when we sell Ziyech and Pulisic. I couldn't agree more with you, but I thought we'll be going for a traditional DM, really. Porter should use the next match to try some new things. I hope, again, with future Zakaria, I hope, we just only hope and pray for him. Like, we're calling for him to start as if we signed Messi and the manager is keeping the bench. That's not me saying he's a bad player. I know how good he can be, but something isn't quite right, something we don't really understand. We've talked about a whole lot of reason that we think that's the reason why he hasn't gotten the chance to start, but we're not sure, really. Sterling is so bad, he should never be close to going to the World Cup. If it does show how bad England team is, well, Roger is in trouble, and he knows why I'm talking that. Please like and subscribe when you enter if you have not, as it helps the channel, again, reach a wider audience. Yes, people keep doing that. Again, first thing we need is a defender more. Well, when we were looking at a lot of defender, we were questioning the club's decision. It turns out Thomas Tuchel knew exactly what he was doing then. So let's get into the show proper right now, into the topics we have lined up to talk about. We're going to start, again, I haven't even shared my screen after the technical issues I had, but I'll be just in a second. We'll be there. I think this is a screen I'm looking for. I don't know if I should zoom out. I think I should. So this one here talks about, again, Inter have announced that Chelsea on loan striker Romelu Lukaku has suffered a new muscle injury. For me, this highlights the fact it looks like he's become injury prone. Plus, if we're talking about bringing him back, he's not going to come back younger to us. And if the rumors are true that he's, again, the loan will be a 2-year loan, then he'd be 30 by the time he comes back to us, which makes it, again, even more difficult than he'd be productive to a measure that's going to be acceptable to us. So, Roger, your thought, really. Your thought.
Hey,
sorry, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well, brother.
Yeah, good morning to you too. And Tobago. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about him. I think we are in trouble, though, regarding him in our future. What are we going to do? You know,
like, just really get an option to buy out his contract, but that's an expense. That's a loss that I don't see a business and profit-minded owners do just like that. They'd rather bring him back and say, Graham Potter, okay, let's squeeze out what. I'm thinking they'd bring him back and say, let's squeeze out whatever we can from this guy. But go ahead with what you were saying.
For how much? £10, 25p? Come on. Seriously, how much can they afford, and how much is he worth? We pay.
I'm not sure, but we should still be owing them up to 60 million.
So yeah, can I ask you a favor, please? Can you explain the actual circumstance surrounding why we owe them so much money?
Because we didn't pay the 100 million plus, or how much it was. I'm not sure the correct number, and I hate throwing numbers out of my wazoo at people. It's a risk again.
So I'm confused. What do you mean we didn't pay? So how did we acquire him?
No, usually it's a structured payment. Usually you don't pay that much in a bulk, that much money in again in bulk.
Sure.
It's structured. You pay a certain amount yearly or so, and some of them come due to performances. But that of performances, I think you say will be out because that's nothing. But in terms of the whole payment, I think there's quite a lot of them that you have to pay, like pay a certain amount. I don't know if it's yearly, I don't know if it's quarterly, I'm not sure. But you don't, usually you don't just give them the whole money like that. So yeah, that's how we owe them 70 plus. But now due to the loan deal, I think it should be around 60 plus at this point. I'm not sure the number. And like I said, I hope we're throwing numbers out of my wazoo, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's so we actually, on our books, we still owe them money. That amount of money, that's horrendous amount. That's gigantic, gargantuan. Yeah, okay. Wow. We paid so over the market for him. We really did.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we paid 30 million for Kante, and I knew he was going to be a good player, but I was thinking 30 million is so overinflated. And now you can't even get a bench warmer for 30 million.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think you're very correct. We paid too much for him, really,
Vastly,
given his age.
Yes.
Given his age and given the fact, I can't believe I'm talking about this again. Given the fact that, again, the scouts then, even if Roman wanted him, even if Roman last child, which last child in every family are usually spoiled, wanted him and said, if you don't get me this, and I'm not going to go to school. And Roman says he wants to get him. If you're one of those people that work for the club then, and you're a scout, or even if you're there again in the capacity of a technical director or whatever role, but as long as you see this before it was happening, and you think, yeah, get him. You didn't pay attention to you didn't ask Thomas Tuchel. Even if you asked him and he said, I mean, we could do with it. That's not a straight up answer. You should have looked at the history of Thomas Tuchel himself, even from Mainz. But just to be safe, let's start from Borussia Dortmund to PSG. He doesn't use traditional number 9s. He doesn't. At PSG, he had Mauro Icardi and Edson Cavani. You could say that was the reason why Cavani had to leave.
Sure. Well, you know, that falls on Maria then.
No, she's not a scout. We had a scouting department. Are you sure that's not one of the reasons why Todd Boehly fired them? Because you don't become a billionaire by really hiring people that always goes, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. You want those that will always tell you the truth and say, this isn't going to work and this will work. If you really can know they know what they would do. They should have said, this isn't really going to work. Plus, he's 38. And if things go wrong, we will be stuck with him for that amount of money at his age. No selling value. That was the argument. I think I think probably specifically with Ishan. I said he's not going to have, I think, either of the three. Ishan, HH from Football Hope. Again, half hope football. And my brother, I think I had the same argument with, I'm not sure, but for specifically Ishan, I did. But with HH, I think what I argued, the style of play wouldn't suit Thomas Tuchel's style of play. I told them this guy's either two of the three. I told them this guy wouldn't have a solid value if anything again goes wrong, and that's exactly what happened. Things went wrong, and we couldn't sell him. Our only viable option, was to loan him back to Inter, because they're not going to say, let's find a solution where we forfeit the money you owe us. But go ahead with what you were saying, Roger. Let's get done with the Lukaku argument and go to another player.
We're basically going to have to write off 50+ million, realistically.
Oh, yeah.
That, from a financial standpoint, that's a tragedy. That's a huge failure, and heads should roll for that. Because you know, we have been fortuitous enough that we have now 2 billionaires consecutively that have purchased our club. Had we been an average, you know, fiscally minded Premier League team, we wouldn't have been able to bite the bullet on that. So they have failed us. The people from yes, you're correct, to the scouting to a certain extent, but also Maria, she's the person that's the executive that actually negotiates these kind of deals. She could have gone.
Can I say this, Roger? Do I think she's perfect? No.
No. But hold on.
But she's not a scout, really. We have to recognize that. She's not a scout, but go ahead.
Yeah, but coach, I already stated that. But from an executive level, when you're the director of football acting, quote unquote, even though her full title was director, she should have said, no, listen, Abramovich, he's not worth it, ABC. It's a systematic failure from across the board. It's simple as that. You can't.
And can we really just agree that, again, before the club wrote the check, Thomas Tuchel okayed it. Let's say, no matter what happens, I don't think they say, okay, we signed Lukaku, there you go, take him, make it work. I think he okayed it, but I really want us to move on from him. But we're talking about him because we're stuck with him, really.
Yeah, we are. We are definitely stuck with him. You would think that Tuchel had a say in that. If not, I'd be interested to know why. That means he's been totally undermined. If that is not,
do you think really they signed the check and given Inter Milan and agree without him saying, "I can make it work"?
It's happened before.
No, but I don't think it happened. I don't think it happened. Even those ones were thinking it happened now. I don't think they'd complete the process without letting the manager know we're signing this guy. Tobago, can you come in there?
It's happened historically.
Yeah, I know it's happened, but I don't think in those cases either they'd sign those players without letting the manager know. Tobago, if you're there, I want to get your thoughts on whether you think Thomas Tuchel was informed or not. Before we move on from Lukaku, we have other topics lined up that I really want us to get to as soon as possible.
Okay. To be honest, coach, from my side, Thomas Tuchel was informed. If Thomas Tuchel didn't want Lukaku, maybe the report said he wanted Lewandowski, Kane, and Haaland. He couldn't get them.
Sure.
So if a coach didn't want Lukaku, he should have said no. But due to that he wanted a striker, he said no. And no coach will get a player.
Let me understand what you're saying. You said he wanted the striker. He said no. And then if he doesn't want, he said no. Did you say two types of no's? That's what I'm trying to understand.
No, all I'm saying, like, oh, Roger, all I'm saying, like, Thomas Tuchel wanted a striker, right? And then they gave him a list, and then he couldn't find maybe other options, and then Lukaku was still an option. So they said, "Do you want Lukaku?" He said yes. And then they signed him for Lukaku for him. And if he didn't want Lukaku, he shouldn't be a Chelsea player at the moment. So I don't buy this thing saying Thomas Tuchel never wanted Lukaku. I don't buy it. Never. Even Saul.
I'm not
because
saying
Saul,
that he didn't. I'm saying there's a possibility. That's all. We don't know.
I don't think it happened. We have a structure at Chelsea, really. And Thomas Tuchel, again, no matter how bad we think they were, we had a structure on that Roman's reign. And here's the thing: Thomas Tuchel comments also showed he okayed it, because in one of his press conferences, he said we knew about his profile, we wanted him, and even some content creators started saying, even I started saying, "Oh, Lukaku was actually the choice all along." That was what it sounded like. That was what Thomas Tuchel comment sounded. I don't think it come out in a comment in a profile in a what's it saying, in a press conference and say we wanted him. We knew about his profile. He's the striker we wanted. I didn't think. So that shows again he actually he wanted him really. He okayed it maybe at least.
Yeah,
but if you want to add something to it, you go ahead before we move on.
Yeah, he may have okayed it because he's a yes man. Well, possibly he didn't want to rock the boat, but if he didn't want him, that's completely different.
Oh my gosh! But go ahead, Roger.
But that's completely different. You know, if realistically, if he doesn't historically use that kind of player, why would he okay it? That's a contradiction in terms.
Yeah, just go ahead, Roger. I want to put up a poll quickly. I'll come back. I'll catch up on the chat, and we'll switch the topics.
But does that make sense, Coach? If you're saying historically he's never played with that kind of player, then why would he okay that purchase?
Probably because you could say I think it makes sense now because you said he's a yes, sir, yes, ma'am guy, maybe to a certain measure. Then, but go ahead. Because we were desperate for a striker, really. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's the latter. To be honest with you,
I think. Roger, I think we're desperate, to be honest, because
I agree with you. We're very.
I've watched Lukaku at Inter Milan for 2 seasons. He couldn't feed to how Thomas Tuchel plays, and I said it before, but again,
a lot of people didn't agree. Then a lot of people didn't pay attention.
I watched a lot of Syria, and then I said it. Lukaku is a good striker. If maybe change out to how we play. Not for him, overall for every player, because I remember at Inter Milan, who's that? Antonio Conte changed how Inter Milan plays due to Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez. He made it work. So at Chelsea, I thought maybe Lukaku can work with Timo Werner. That's why I thought about Inter Milan, because Timo Werner also at Leipzig, he was doing well when he plays along Paulsen. So I thought maybe Timo Werner and Lukaku will be the main strikers for us. But again, maybe I got it wrong. But from the beginning, I said, this is like oil and water. They're never going to be combined.
Yep. Again, thank you very much for that. Let me try and catch up on the chat. We'll move on from the Lukaku topic. Let's
Coach,
go.
What else? Ask a question, though. Seriously.
Yeah, go ahead.
One question. Does he come back?
Before I'd be able to answer that question,
and more importantly,
I'd have to have clarity on whether it's a 2-year loan deal or maybe it's just a year. But I think whatever happens, he comes back. Inter will be stupid to forfeit such amount of money. They'd have to take a deal that ensures that they get nearly everything we owe them.
Right.
Before they let him go. Because they had actually a financial issue, which was one of the reasons why you can see they decided they're not going to offer him a new contract and wanted to sell him. Yeah. So let me try and catch up with the chat. I'll come back again. We will switch a topic again. If you're watching, 29 likes. We're doing really well today. It's looked like we're going to get a good number of likes today. If you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, yes, we do need a creative midfielder because it doesn't matter what player we have in the attacking area. If they don't get the service, they're going to underperform. It's as simple as that. As much as I don't like Lukaku, Coach, I think you're right. Again, and thank you so much for saying that. We need a confident players up front who loves taking on players. After Hazard, I was excited about Rafinha. Then after losing to Barca, I thought it would make sense to go after Anthony. In the case of Rafinha, you could say he's very predictable. He's easy, believe me, to mark out of a game if you do your job. It's always... he doesn't differ that much from Anthony too. It's always he doesn't showboat as much as Anthony does. We've all seen that. Again, I think we learned that a few days ago. He started dribbling the player. He was in Jamaica. He started dribbling the player again in the US. Yeah, even. But that's, by the way, Rafinha is much more direct than, again, unless sometimes you can say Anthony dribbles unnecessarily, but that's going to come with time. I think as he matures, that goes away. But my point is those players ain't close to Hazard because they're very predictable. Hazard is unpredictable. Hazard can take you on from the left, from the central area. He can also create. And he is one of the least selfish players I've ever seen play for Chelsea Football Club.
Yes, indeed.
If he was that selfish, he'd be then probably be on the Ballon d'Or list at Chelsea, but he's the least selfish. So again, I don't think Rafinha could have. No, he isn't the guy that can help us pull a rabbit out of the heart anytime, anything. No, Anthony wouldn't be either. I think the only person I see we have at our disposal now that's capable of doing that in the future, but the process has to be gradual, is Omari Hutchinson. He's unpredictable. And that's what you need. You don't need, once you start hearing something, a signature move, then that player is probably predictable. Yeah, Anthony has a signature move. Rafinha has the same signature move, which means if you know he's going to shoot, cut back in and shoot with his left, you can stop him really. Otherwise, force him to do other stuff. But I'd like to move on from that one really again. And then again, so again, yeah, I think the club were doing less of selling right now, except if they bring in new players before they let anybody go. Have a good one again, jump out. Okay, is it going anywhere? He says again, and then sell him the first chance we get again. But anyways, have to run, guys. I just started my new job, and congratulations on the new job, brother. Sorry I didn't read that through. We'll talk soon. I still haven't forgotten about that conversation, and I'll let you know what I can do. Again, have a good one. Yep, enjoy yourself. We need a defender, midfield, and a striker. We need a whole lot of players. Billy Gilmour is not getting a look in a Brighton. At Brighton, and has played a total of 27 minutes. So how is the Chelsea quality as much as everyone would love? That is, here's the thing. In the case of Billy Gilmour, I think him being there probably down to him pushing to leave. At first under Thomas Tuchel, he shouldn't have left. He pushed to leave, and then probably Thomas Tuchel suggested the wrong club because he had his friend as the manager then at Norwich City. But that's, by the way, I think he would have done well on, again, he could say he's the guy that equipped to do the Jorginho role better than Jorginho. He's physical, even though he's not the biggest on the pitch. He has a good leap in him. He can pass the ball very well. He progresses the ball better than Jorginho. And I can't believe I'm saying this really, as much as I love Jorginho. And defensively too, he's better because he's quicker and can catch up and then make again. You could say precise interceptions if you want to phrase it that way.
Coach, you know what I like about Gilmour? If you look stylistically, that's all I'm saying. Stylistically, he's very much in the Phil Foden mode. The way he goes for the ball, the way he greets the ball, the way he traps the ball.
That's a new one for me. The way he greets the ball. But yeah, I understand what you mean.
Yeah. So when he's in the triangle and we're in possession, but he doesn't have the ball, the way he actually goes out of his way to form that triangle, it's very stylistic to Foden.
Here's one thing again that makes him very different too, which was what again stood out again when I first again started paying attention to how much of a good footballer he is that he is a mashup of a defensive midfielder and a regista.
Yes.
That's what those two factors define Gilmour. That's why he was special. And I'm sure had it not been for him wanting to play more, Thomas Tuchel really wanted to keep him. Because he played him in high-profile games. And didn't he win the man of the match in all those games? And also in Euros.
I believe he did. Yeah,
and in Euros, one man of the match on two occasions? No, let me just say, the most pronounced one was he won the man of the match against a star-studded England. Didn't he?
I watched him play for Scotland a few times, and just like I watched Wales because of Ethan Ampadu. He's a good player, Gilmour. I hope, honestly, we buy him back.
I don't think we even have a buyback clause, really.
No,
I think you could say his loan at Norwich just crapped up everything. Again, and like we've talked about here, before you can put the buyback clause, I think all parties has to agree: the player himself, the buying club, the selling club.
I mean, I'm hoping we can buy him. Hopefully.
I think the club have moved on from Billy Gilmour, really, if you ask me. That's how I see it. Why are we talking about, again, this loss called Lukaku? Because, he's still our player, really. Whether you like it or not, he's still our player. Again, so we're complaining about our midfield not being good enough. We want a player back from a team. He can't get the look in, but he will improve. Okay, I think that shows Liam has had it. He was like, wait, what what in the freaking world are they talking about on this panel, really? He's had it. But that's, by the way, I'm going to come back to the panel. Let's go into the topic we have again. And I'm sorry if I miss your comments. Again, I can't read everything. If I keep reading just the comments, we'll be stuck there. And we're not going to do anything else. So unfortunately, I'll scroll to the very bottom of the topic we have here. We have some interesting one. Let's see, which one is this? This is, again, Jorginho. Again, this is just, again, to me, to show Roger that my argument was right, really.
Really? You're going to go there, coach?
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, Jorginho not starting was another huge error from Graham Potter. Don't tell me he needs a rest because Kovacic keeps getting picked. Our game was, again, was like ping pong in midfield. Couldn't control the game and calm it down at all. No number 6. Even if he has his weaknesses, it was a huge issue. This just speaks my mind, really. But I'm not going to go into it. Yeah.
Rotation-wise, that's valid.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Tobago.
The same person who likes to complain when Jorginho doing errors on Twitter timeline. If you can check his tweets about Jorginho, that's why I don't take him serious. The same person who likes to complain.
Oh, my goodness. That gets a point, really.
Yeah. And again, as Roger said, like, rotation is good in order to keep everyone fit. So, Grandpa took a gamble to rest Jorginho. It never worked out.
Why do you think resting for a game that's, again, clearly a mere formality? But go ahead.
So why do you think we lost that game? The same person will say Jorginho is useless. So I don't think this guy serious.
I'm just saying he made a good point here. I don't care. I could care less, again, that he's been slandering Jorginho. But this is just the truth, really. But I know Roger understand what I mean. Roger, this wasn't really for you.
No, I
but
get
this, it. This just highlights one of the mistakes, again, that Graham Potter made on that day. At least you can say, of all the guys who are capable of playing that central area, I think he's the only guy you could say have a bit of the features of a defensive midfielder, because he can actually read the game quite well. Even if you could say reading the game in terms of knowing when to slow things down a bit. But we're not going to get into that. A good argument after all for him. But here we have, again, Lukaku just got, again, a lazy and comfortable with the expectation the team would adapt to him rather than him working hard to fit into the team. This is such a delicious comment. Yep. When you're getting a player, two things has to happen for it to work. Let's say either of these two things first. Either the team adapts to the player or the player adapts to the team. But usually, if you're being logical here, if the team adapts to the player, which means building the team around the player, if the player gets played out of a game, the team is done. Am I making sense here? And I think Thomas Tuchel openly refused. He said clearly he's not going to try to build the team around Lukaku. And Lukaku didn't like that. And Ty called it the main guy syndrome, was one of the issues he had. He was coming to Chelsea thinking it was going to be all about him. And I don't want that to happen. Now, if we build the team the other way around, if the player fits into the team, works hard to adapt to the way the team plays, if anything goes wrong, you change the player and the team will still be playing well. Then we'll be playing more of, again, as a unit than building the team around a single individual. Managers these days don't do that. They don't. And that's why Man City can do well in the absence of Erling Haaland. Even if Kevin De Bruyne don't play, yes, again, they have the best creator in the world off the pitch, but they still do well. That's because it's not about Kevin De Bruyne at Man City. But I really want to move on from that Lukaku argument, really. Even if Thomas Tuchel was involved in that decision, he wasn't one to make, again, drama under Roman Abramovich. In the end, it was Lukaku's attitude over his talent that made him a flop. This is another delicious, in fact, as delicious as Nigerian jollof, really. I love it. Or maybe Ghanaian jollof, they're still competing. I wouldn't say, again, if I took one, they said because I was born in Nigeria. But again, that's by the way. Anybody can. I'm not going to go to Roger because I know what he's going to say. I might as well go to Rodrigo and find out his thoughts on this comment on the screen. Again, know what they're doing. They're killing his value. Yep, and he's helping them by kissing his badge. He dissed us. He's again, like I said before, the only thing he didn't do was to release a diss track again with Jay-Z dissing Chelsea. But that's by the way. Again, Rodrigo, you want to say anything about what we're looking at on the screen?
Yeah, just on a Lukaku bit, just a quick comment. I think it was a conspiracy. In fact, I actually believe it's the truth. I think Inter Milan and Lukaku came to a conclusion, say, right, we have financial trouble here. We can sell you to Chelsea. We can get 100 million. Got there, do the bare minimum, and then we'll come. I don't think anyone can convince me otherwise. I think
go ahead.
Exactly.
Nobody's hilarious. Go ahead.
Because I know the Inter Milan owners. I think he's from Hong Kong. I think he has a lot of financial problems, right? He's definitely a big mafia guy there. They told him, like, listen, mate, we're gonna sell you. Go there, and then that literally everything that Lukaku did was so calculated. Everything that's happened is so calculated to the point where it's not a coincidence. We got caught with our pants down. That's how bad it was. But anyways, on a comment on the stream, yesterday.
I'm sorry, Rodrigo. Go ahead.
Yesterday I said I was 100% blaming Graham Potter, and I said I should stop watching the highlights of the game. I just did. I saw it again. Oh my God! I think I'm now 110%. I need to stop doing this. 110% on Graham Potter.
The more you watch it, the more you be pissed. Really, I tried it.
The more I watch, the more I see how Brighton were there for the taking. The more I'm even pissed off because he knows Brighton inside out. Is his team.
That was probably the confidence that he knows them and knows what to do to beat them. You could say that was probably his biggest issue on the day.
And did you count the 18 times that Sterling gave the ball away?
Oh my God! Yes, again.
18. He had 35 touches. 18.
And the comment after the game. Oh no! I need to stop. I need to. Come on, we need to play that grab quickly so I can forget about this game. Because the more I keep, coach. I'm sorry. I'm gonna come to your stream and say Potter out. Maybe
it was
we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
No. Graham Potter.
No, but quickly, the Lukaku's case. We're stuck with him. But go ahead, round off with the Lukaku talk. I want to catch up with the chat.
Okay, so I'm gonna round up with the Lukaku.
Okay, you were talking about the Jorginho thing. You've talked about again. Round off with the Jorginho one, so we can move on. Okay. What do you think about this comment? If you don't want to talk about it, fine. I just want to catch up with the chat. We can switch up topic.
I agree with the comment. I mean, there was no point for resting him. I mean, he's not like he's gonna play in the he's gonna play, but it's a dead rubber game. So what's the point of resting him in the Brighton game, especially as he was instrumental in the way we play against Salzburg? I don't care what everyone say. He was really good for the Salzburg game. So
he was.
He should have played the Brighton game. So I don't understand why he didn't. Yeah.
Okay, let me catch up with the chat quickly. Sorry, I'm not going to read everything in the chat. I will leave a few because we have to switch topic. We'll have quite a lot to talk about today. I'm just saying, again, the likes of Billy Gilmour, as much as I like him, will not get back at the ground. We have lost to City. That's the truth. Again, but it just came to mind, why did we let them leave in the first place? We'd be better off right now have we not, again, sold them or let them leave alone. Even Ampadu would be better off with them because you could say, Ampadu, he's good. Again, he's capable of leading the back line. We've seen that. It happened during preseason. He's got that leadership quality. Naturally, he's a born leader. But it has happened. We just move on. Hazard was simply unplayable. Yep, unplayable, unpredictable, unstoppable. Add more words to it. He was that. But Rafinha is predictable. It's again, he has a signature move. Anthony he has a signature move that if you watch him very well, you'd be able to stop him. Really, the tactic from every team was to go for his ankles. Again, I was heartbroken when he left Chelsea, but he wanted to fulfill his dream of to play for Real. And also, he did say again, he's not going to force it. If both clubs can come to an agreement, good. If not, as much as white will look good on him, blue looks good on him. That's why Chelsea fans still love him today. A few would want him to come back, but to me, I'd say maybe to the club, again, he's more valuable staying there because each time they win a trophy, we get some money. We get free money. So again, Gilmour, forced himself out of Chelsea. I believe that too. He wanted to leave. Again, but I don't want to get into that. We're giving out about the lack of J5 physicality, but Billy is going to be strong enough. That's the truth. Again, physically, I think Billy is better. That's how I see it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I really want to move on from that one. You're right, Coach. Again, Hutchinson is a shot. Yeah, he's capable of being that guy that's not, again, unpredictable. It's not about a single move. He can always pull out something from somewhere else and do something. That was Eden Hazard. It's Kami. Nice to see you again, brother. It's been a while. Again, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. He says, a big believer in second chances, but no, not this one for me. No. And it would be a thought. Yeah, that's just the truth. It would be a thought. I just finished reading your comment. And sometimes I read these things in a hurry because there are a lot of them. Who is, again, over there talking about Lukaku is not a Chelsea fan, you think? Let's see what happens. Again, anything else to address here? And somebody comes for Rodrigo's head, and it is the beautiful game. He says, yes, Rodrigo, swap your panic bus tickets for a Potter out ticket. All aboard. Yeah, I don't think we're there yet. I think Potter was to do well. He was to do well, but I think he needs to take the process gradually. It doesn't have to be we don't have to start playing like Brighton now, because the truth remains that Brighton we watched on the day. I think the person that made that came to mind with my brother Oaks from the Green Top. Again, it has a footprint. It has his imprint all over. That was his Brighton. No matter how the tactics on the day was, again, from the new manager, but the bravado, the bravery, again, the interplay we saw, again, the lack of not being afraid of anybody we saw, again, what other language should I use? Was his handiwork, really. It was him. His blueprint overall. This is exactly.
This is the only thing I back Graham Potter, because I've seen something tangible. I've seen Brighton. I've seen how he was under Chris Hughton and how he was under him in his first season and how he was even this season early on. I can see that blueprint. So I know I've been on his neck for that game, but it's just the one game. I'm not here to criticize him for over.
No, but we have to say as
we
it
have
is.
to talk about it. Yeah.
Here's the thing: if we were coaches, if you, me, Roger, and whoever was on this panel the day we reviewed the Salzburg game, if we were Chelsea coaches, we wouldn't make that selection. The whole thing comes down to the selection, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
And execution.
And execution too. Yeah, I know, Roger.
Roger, you want to squeeze in that Sterling?
I've got to.
No, he's looking fine, trying to find a way to make sure he tells us how many times Sterling lost the ball. Now, it wasn't really Potter's a fault. But go ahead, Rodrigo. You were saying something so that again I can catch up with the chat.
No, that's fine. Go to the chat.
Okay, all right. Again, Adeyemi Ario, that reminds me of one of my friends called, again, Ademola Ario, a cameraman back then in Nigeria. Are you his brother? Again, Kukurea is a fraud. My people, again, why did we keep Aspilicueta after, again, his disaster last season? You really going beyond the Brighton game and blaming Cesar Aspilicueta. I wouldn't. Again, Aspilicueta hasn't done anything wrong. He's actually been one of our best players at the time when we were struggling. As for Kukurea, I won't blame him. Has he had the best of games? No. And I have clear reasons why I think I can present to you. I think that was the case. So much pressure on the defense, so much confusion in the defense. Not just him, really. But that's, by the way, again, we'll move on. I think he's a good player. We've seen what he's capable of doing. His first game under Thomas Tuchel, he was brilliant. And he's that player capable of finding passing lanes where you, the viewer, didn't know one exists. And it's always on the carpet, too. Always mainly on the carpet most of the times. But thank you for finding time to join the show. If you haven't, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Kukurea, again, I've read that. Why am I going to read it twice? I remember saying we need Ampadu. It's evident now. Again, he would have played not even the DM role. He would have let the back line comfortably, and Thiago Silva got the rest. Because the truth remains, Thiago Silva looked tired. He looked mentally tired, physically tired. Again, and even at that, still was one of the best players on the pitch. Again, he cleared the ball, 2 balls off the line. Imagine what would have happened. If Potter goes, again, we won't get anyone till after the World Cup. So let's manage him. I think he would do well.
God, that's extreme.
Oh, you didn't know she took the keys for you. She's the new panic bus driver. Okay, now again, for all Gilmour's potential, it hurts to see him becoming another Josh McCracken. Oh, you just broke my heart now. Really. Even used to shoot Josh McCracken talk about his Chelsea career. Again, you see that he's on the verge of crying. Really, he was one that I really cannot explain how the whole thing went down south and couldn't recover even when he went to other clubs. Again, it hurts to see him again. I don't think he'd be because he has the potential. He could again have been more patient, but Chelsea should have taken his talent more seriously too. We took his talent more seriously. He played high-profile games under Thomas Tuchel, and had he stayed, there was a time N'Golo Kante was out, Jorginho was out, which means he played like 10 games in a row, really.
Yeah, and also Reece James was out, so Loftus-Cheek could have played right wing back, and he would have played in midfield.
Yeah, so there was space for him to really play a lot of games, but he wanted to leave. He believed in himself so much. There's no need being patient, really. We'll see what the mood around the camp is after the.
Oh Lord! This is the first.
Here's the thing.
Going to the
go ahead.
I feel like an underdog. The first time in years I'm going to the Arsenal in an Arsenal game, and I feel like with the underdog.
You're going.
Underdog. Yeah.
Okay, bless your heart in advance. But here's the thing: if I'm being honest, the bigger the occasion, I think the better we do. I think we'll do well against Arsenal, and probably them, they'll be seeing us as they would demolish us, and they're saying that already. But if I was Graham Potter, I wouldn't do what I really deep down believe Graham Potter would do. Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think he'd do?
What will do? What will he do?
I think because of again confidence smashing, confident destroying performance against Brighton, he probably would want to play them against against Zagreb to get them to get their confidence back before the Arsenal game. But to me, do you know what I think Mourinho would do rather? Mourinho will leave that reaction to be against Arsenal, which is a much bigger game. Because once the reaction is over, the reset is done. If we get the reaction, I do understand where I'm coming from now. If we get the reaction, the much needed reaction against Zagreb, Arsenal becomes just a normal game. So for me, I'd rather start again those that didn't start against majority of those that didn't start against Brighton, start them against Zagreb. So let those that they started against Brighton still be in pain for that loss and get the opportunity to prove they're capable of doing it against Arsenal. Roger, do I make any sort of sense there?
A little bit. I get what you're saying, Coach. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Again, if anybody want to elaborate on that, fine. If not, I'll just I'll get what we have in the chat and we can move on to the next topic.
I'm highly apprehensive about this game.
Sorry?
I'm highly apprehensive about this game.
Okay. Hazard's decision was easier because Roman's commitment was wavering due to his political strain with the UK government, and he was refusing to throw money into Chelsea like he did in the past. Really? Okay. Do you think a front two of Alba and Broya would work from the start?
I don't know.
I don't know really, but if anything, you could say technically, okay, Broya is powerful enough and is good in the air, but I'm not too sure about his build up hold up play at this point. Like where you see the Didier Drogba and the Anelka combo, where again once the ball comes in the air, if the two started together, and Nelka with sense, he already knows where the ball is going to drop from. Again, from a flick from Didier Drogba.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't know.
Potter will risk it. It takes time for that such relationship to blossom. Go ahead.
It feels like both of them are defenders that want to play on the shoulder of the centre back and running in behind, rather than one that's like a target man. I don't see either one of them as a target man. So you have two identical. But the only thing that could work is Aubameyang can go on the left and Broya can go on the right. They can split the centre back. They could potentially. But I
don't see Potter doing that really. No, I'm not Potter out. I want him and our players to turn up again with the derby mentality. Otherwise, yeah, if we lose woefully in that game, a lot of people, even his biggest supporters, will start saying, "I'm not sure." Really. But Cucurella is not a fraud. Again, we got to be patient with him. I don't think he's done badly, really. It's not playing his measure. I don't know where people, again, the finger pointing thing, I think it's a tradition in the Chelsea fan base. I don't know what he's done wrong, really. And there are worse players that I'm expecting people to be pointing fingers at, really. Not Cucurella. We're beating Arsenal. I don't know how, but we're winning. Again, to me, my strongest belief is that, again, the bigger the occasion, the more we turn up. So we see, if we lose against Arsenal, even Graham Potter will be... Okay, if any Chelsea fan is still raging, again, after Brighton, remember that Barca is out of the Champions League. They literally hijacked a Europa League from our grip alongside Leo, Kante, and Rafinha. Truthfully, again, yeah, I agree with you, but I think Xavi, tactically, he's not there. Coach, I remember when Van Persie killed us at the breach. I think it was a 5-3. Was it 5-3 or 4-2 win against us? It was a feisty, again, London derby. I think Arsenal will bury us under the pitch. I like it.
I disagree.
No, don't worry, Tobago, let them go. Once I start hearing this sort of comment, to me, it's a sign that we'll actually do well. If you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. I totally agree with you about our game against Arsenal. They are, again, licking their lips against us. Again, and I pray we give, again, them a bloody nose. Here's the only, I would be concerned, let's say Arsenal, if we're playing Arsenal after they've lost like 10 games in a row, then we're the 11th game, then you'd say, be rest assured they're going to beat us. Yeah. And maybe I'm just seeing things from the Charity FC factor. But since they're winning and they're topping the table, I think we hate it the most. We hate it. It's not like they're in the mid-table area or close to bottom table and we're going in saying like, we're just going to beat them and then it will be 11 losses for them. No, we know if we relent, they're going to mop the Stamford Bridge carpet with us. So again, I think circumstances tell me we're winning this one. The least we can get out of this will be a draw, really. But we get into that. Go ahead, Tobago. You wanted to say something.
Every time when you go to a derby on form, likely you're about to lose or draw. I remember it happened to us several times. Remember, Arsenal were on bad form last season, and then Thomas Tuchel tried to change the formation and the players. What happened? We got beaten. Yeah. Even under Lampard, the same thing. We changed the formation and stuff.
It's a lot of games. How many games? Again, no win, loss.
No
loss.
Win,
and when it gets once again,
yes. So now, this game is a different game. Whether we lost against Brighton or we lose in the Champions League game, derby is a derby. Every player wants to do well. So I think this game, as you said, is a good game in order for the players to react and then see or test their mentality. How far are they willing to fight for Chelsea? So we'll wait and see on Sunday.
Yeah, but Tobago, this is why I agree with what Coach was saying earlier, saying if it was like Mourinho, the reaction, it wouldn't be the Zagreb game. So the reaction, it will hope, it will sort of like it will sort of like push that reaction towards the Arsenal game. So that's why I hope he's gonna do a lot of changes in the squad. Like the team that's gonna play against Zagreb, I wouldn't mind if he plays like a bunch of youngsters, because I think on our B list we have 3 youngsters. He plays all of them. Plays that didn't play. If you Chukwuemeka, if he's fit, Ziyech,
El Zakaria, please.
Zakaria, all these sort of people. I don't want to see in the starting 11 Sterling, Aubameyang, all these big players. I want them to be racing.
What about Broja?
Oh, bro, yeah, bro, yes. Sorry, yeah, one bro. One bro.
Anybody that wasn't part of the Brighton game can start. Mainly before accommodating others that started on the day. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm happy Rodrigo understands what I mean, and I'm sure Roger, you understood everything. You were just joking.
Teasing. Yeah, of course.
But again, yeah. So again, because if we play those guys and they win that game, we've gotten the reaction.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. So again, let it be some measure of punishment for them. You're not starting this one. The next game you have to prove yourself is the game against Arsenal. Go work on yourself, really. Yeah, again, says again, we shouldn't play Arsenal with the formation. No, let him go ahead and try it. If I see it, I'm just going to say I have an emergency, so I'm not going to do a watch along today. I'll see you guys on the next day. Yeah, let him go ahead. Wow, it's not my job, really. We're going to get grilled, and no joke. Yeah, but we can weather it. We can actually do well if we plan well. He should just, again, do his homework, really. We lost 4-1. We're going to get smashed again to Arsenal. I don't even, from on the Thomas, even, I don't see, we haven't had to, you can say, I haven't seen a time where, since Sarri, has there been a time where we lost 2 games and then we were disgracing those 2 games? I don't think it has happened. I think we'll probably see a good performance no matter what happens. We'll see the fighting spirit there, but that's, by the way, and again, had Abramovich not sacked Ancelotti for coming second and winning the FA Cup, we wouldn't. We would have had, again, dominance. Pep is enjoying right now. Yeah, it takes consistency to achieve dominance, at least from a managerial perspective. Yes, we've been successful under. We were successful under Roman Abramovich. We achieved a lot, but those achievements came in patches. There was never a time you can look back and say, we dominated the Premier League from this year to this year. No, because we're firing and hiring managers, always hitting the reset button, again, for quick success. But if we really want to dominate, we have to give managers time. And unfortunately, part of the process will be very painful. Coach said, again, the same thing. And look, I didn't say the same thing against Brighton, no. I only said the same thing against United. And we weren't that poor against United, really. They mauled us, man. Again, it took, but I thought we were going to win, really. And the argument I made to people saying, yeah, he knows them quite well. And I said, it goes both ways. They know him as much as he knows them. So, but you never know. Yes, people hit the like button, people. How many likes, right? And we have just 35 likes. You can do better than that. Take a second to drop a like and on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for all the support. We sincerely do appreciate that. Can we issue her VATs amount with the temporary stadium back this weekend? Is it possible? Oh my goodness, I'm not sure what to say to that one. Again, I am a fan of Raheem Sterling, but he desperately needs time on the bench now, again, for his own good. Probably if he goes to the World Cup, I'd be surprised. Coach, what do you think about, again, the return of Dusan Sterling as a backup for Reece James? Again, he is good. And again, as much as I agree, he wouldn't be a competition for Reece James. But the term backup, we don't use that here. We need competition for James. And have we had that competition for James now? Right now, would still be fine.
Competitive depth.
Yeah, that's what we want. Not really backup, not really a player who sit on the bench and only wait for the starting player to get injured. We want to say Reece James has played today, and he ran a lot. Let him sit on the bench. Let player B come in and get the job done for us. Go ahead. You wanted to say something.
I was going to say, is like Chelsea afraid to get another right wing back? That should have been a priority.
Yeah.
The level as as the defenders that left. I don't know why.
Didn't we try with Dumfries? Didn't the club try to get Dumfries? I think we tried, really.
Do you want Dumfries though?
I want him. When we were looking at him, we compared his number to Reece James's number. I'm not saying he's Reece James, but if we had Dumfries right now, we won't have too much problem, really. His numbers weren't that different from that of Reece James from last season. Reece just toppled him. I think Reece toppled him with 2 more assists than he had. But I think the goals were the same. I think it was 5 apiece. I don't remember.
Coach,
but Dumfries wouldn't be a good addition to the squad. Go ahead.
Coach, are you saying Dumfries is better than Pulisic in that position?
Yes.
Of course, it is his traditional position.
I'm teasing, Coach. I'm teasing.
And my problem is,
goodness. Yeah.
We need to stop this back three. I'm tired. I lose the will to leave when I see the lineup and I see 3 centre backs. I'm tired of this back 3 business.
Especially when Thiago Silva is tired.
Yeah. Exactly. And remember earlier I was saying,
go ahead.
Yeah, we're playing all the defenders at the same time. Come on. Now you see what the problem is. Now you play all of them at the same time. You have a lot of injuries in the squad.
So why did he play a back 3?
I don't know.
Yeah. Why?
I just don't know. Probably like we talked about. He was so confident that he knows the Brighton team so well that would mop the floor with them. Really, that's what I see. And just quickly, if you haven't, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, when you enter again, it helps the channel reach a wider audience and the growth of the channel overall. Let's see what we have here. Sterling must perform. Hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. 2 people, the captain and the queen of the house, tells you please do that. Those things do it does go. The likes do go a long way for the channel. We cannot have a prolific right back in the January window. It's just gonna be one of those panic buys, and probably more expensive, really. I think it's not going to be a panic buy because we'd start again. This is not like when we were under some restrictions. I think we can start talking about discussing about signing them during the World Cup or even right now, really, because you can just start discussing with clubs about a particular player you're scouting and see how well they're doing. But us getting the best of the signings will be very difficult, especially if it's started to look like we're going to make it to the top 4. Here's one I want us to talk about, and Roger, I'm going to start with you. This one here says that's a process of pain. Okay. It's a process of pain that you have to go through, and you have to keep trying to improve. Graham Potter adamant at Chelsea will have to suck up the bad days on their road to recovery. Even though this is the truth, I think this is dangerously worded.
Does it not apply to us? That's the question. Honestly,
this is dangerously worded. That again, look at with the quotes there shows you that those are his exact words.
Listen, Coach. Listen,
they're not paraphrasing.
Coach, you hear nothing. You hear universal criticism for Gareth Southgate, saying he's far too pragmatic. And conversely, you're hearing people criticize Potter, saying he's not pragmatic enough. Now, I know people are going to say...
But is that the truth?
But I'm not disputing that. But then I'm going to hear people say we need a median balance, which I agree with. Prudence, caution when necessary. However, you've got... And see, look, but before, when Lampard was our manager, and then Tuchel came in, the whole thing was we need to rebuild. And yet we went ahead. I know we won what you would call a cup competition, but it's really a semi-cup competition because excluding the final, you play home and away each round past what the Americans call the round robin phase. So that's like a mini league per se. It's not a cup competition, but it's not a league competition. It's a hybrid, so to speak. So we were good enough to beat that. Were we lucky enough not to play City or Munich or play what's it called? City basically their coach threw the game away in the midfield. I get it. We were fortuitous. You need luck to win anything. But I didn't believe we needed to quote unquote rebuild. I thought we were basically had fundamentally the foundation and the peripherals to win or compete. Having said that, now we're selling players and now we're adding. And I understand that we had the sanctions put on us. That was not of our making. But I don't look at this team as a quote unquote total rebuild. I really don't. I see us.
Oh,
as,
okay, let me ask you this quickly, because I don't think you've answered my question really. Looking at this comment here now,
yeah, I know.
To me, I'd say, yeah, it's dangerously worded, even though it's the truth. If you understand football, you know, if we're really trying to implement the way a particular manager plays, it can be risky, and we see poor result. And again, the truth is, again, he doesn't look like he wants to take the process gradual. Because if he takes this gradual, we can still achieve something come the end of the season. But if we're going to
the bar is low.
Yeah, go ahead.
The bar is low, coach. Here's what it says. It's like, I believe that he's been told, and it's a general consensus from what I could hear and read, that we don't have to make top 4 and you still keep your job. So that alone, the bar is lowered. So he wants to experiment. He wants to find out. To me, it's going to be too risky. He's going to, from what I can tell, it's going to be a bumpy road. It's going to be a bumpy road.
And we know really that.
Is. But it shouldn't have to be.
That's the point we're all making here.
Yeah.
That's the point we're all making here. Yeah, go ahead.
This is the first time he is coaching a top 6 team. He is tactically supposed to be well versed. He's a new and upcoming coach, but don't forget, he's not an old maestro. He's not an Ancelotti. It's quite new to him. You know, he's only coached like 3 or 4 years in the Premier League, and with all due respect, he's never had a big budget. Has he been successful? Yes, but does that translate into our team or a top 6 team? Don't forget this pressure. He's never felt this kind of pressure before. So we have to give him time, but I'm positive for the fact that I would want him over like a Southgate, for instance. I think we have a good future with him, but we need to give him time.
Yeah, but we don't need to die waiting for the time. We need to be cautious about things we did.
Yeah, I agree.
That's also unnecessary. I don't blame Porter for this. I blame the Boehly group. I know they want to do a process, but did they have to fire manager after 7 days after backing him in the summer? Because now they put us in a state where we have a manager that doesn't have, like, it's not his fault that he's only coaching the Premier League for 4 years or less. It's not his fault that he doesn't have that much experience. It's the people that gave him the job. So they're the one that lowered the bar for Chelsea. So if they're happy with finishing just in Europa League or Europa Conference League, then that's them.
Because they had a sound relationship with Tuchel, because they found him.
Yeah, but they didn't
arrogant.
have to get. But they
No,
didn't
I
have
agree.
to get.
I agree.
But they didn't have to get. If the all I'm saying is, it's not Graham Potter's fault that he's being given a Chelsea job. And and in terms of like the standard that is set, is not him. It's because the people that gave him the job, and they set the standard really low. So as Chelsea fans, we just have to lower our standard as well, to say, right,
the bar,
the bar. Maybe not the standard. Standard could still be high. I mean, you could still finish 10th, but with high standard, as in,
sure,
you know how to treat the fans. You know, the football on the pitch should even. Sometimes you get beaten, but the players gave the whole. I think fans going to games, they enjoy that more. So maybe that the standard should always be high, but the bar, as in where we need to qualify this year, has been lowered by Todd Boehly.
Significantly
by Todd Boehly. Because if Tuchel was here, I'm saying the bar is minimum. You have to improve on what you did last year. I think
especially after spending, but we've hit the reset button.
Yeah, but they've lowered that now to Europa League. So anything that happens,
Tuchel's
Here's
firing
the
had
thing.
nothing to do with results.
Yeah, before I bring in IBZ, I want to say something again. As much as we know Potter is capable of doing better, and I know we've followed all of us here. We've followed football long enough to understand. Again, the process is never easy. It involves suffering, but I don't think the suffering is really. Again, it can be avoidable, really, especially because you can say as much as I still think he's a good manager. He was reckless in his selection against Brighton, no matter what we argue. This is not me saying he's not a good manager. This is not me saying we will not do well. We shouldn't suffer to the extent of him, again, being as reckless as he was on that day. To me, I'm going to say this. That selection clearly shows he really didn't pay attention to the numbers of the game against Salzburg, because had they done so, he'd know how risky it was and that Brighton will punish us.
I would term it as naive, not reckless.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. If that's a better time for it, I take it, really. But let me catch up with the chat here again and see what we have. Again, we should just buy the entire Leipzig team. Yeah, maybe that will make a difference. Coach, I really don't want to be playing against teams with no vowels in the names, which I cannot ever pronounce. Yeah, that happens all the time. If I give you my name, my real name, it would take you 3 years to learn how to pronounce it, really. But let's move on. Process of pain to hell with the worst. This is Chelsea. We're champions. We need to improve our program of winning and not a process of rebuilding. Whether we like it or not, we're rebuilding. And you can say circumstances forced it to become a rebuild, given how many players we lost and how many that wanted to leave, even though they're still with us. You could say mindset-wise, they are not with us. So the rebuild is a must. Matthew Lee Benjamin, nice to see you here, brother. It's been a minute. Yes, like the damn video, guys. We're 39 likes. We should be doing better than that. Please, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have a Europa Conference League incoming, I hope that doesn't happen. Yes, again, we're rebuilding, but I think we have enough to actually make it to top 4 if we're cautious, if we're a bit pragmatic. Yes, good football is good. Good, you could say, but sometimes can mask a lot of issues. A lot of us were busy raving about how delicious it was to watch us play, the interplays we saw against Salzburg, without paying attention to the numbers. Again, that masks a whole lot of issue that we've witnessed. Again, in the past 4 games we've played, or 3 at least. But again, we move on for that. Chelsea will win everything. Potter will sort everything out. Okay. And he should start with the back four. Okay, that's, again, I know why I'm laughing. Y'all making a lot of excuses for poor play and poor managing. Well, again, I don't know who you're referring to, but again, present your opinion and you're free to. Yeah. Again, we are supposed to be a world-class club. Why do we not have 2 right backs? I don't know. You were there. You can I think you actually can be able. You should be able to figure it out yourself. Sounds like a lot of excuses. Quite of them. I agree with you. Let's see what we have here. But from the manager, not excuses yet. But we'll see. Again, I thought that Potter was better suited again to join Leicester. Chelsea is just one step too far. So he's learning on the job. You can't argue. I think was it IBC that said the same thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's going to learn from his mistakes. But the most important one really want him to learn from is that, again, playing with just 3 recognized defenders in the Premier League against a high-octane football playing team such as Brighton will never work. Even us, that we're not Chelsea boys, but we saw it coming. Really, we play. Again, we prayed here on the panel that he didn't do that. He did it anyway. I hope he will get it right. But our fan base is not the most patient. Again, what our fan base thinks really doesn't matter. I think the owners, they'd be the one to make the decision. I still think he'll get it right, but he needs to be a bit pragmatic. Take the process gradual. Don't try to implement too much at the same time. It never works in any situation, really. The board can give Potter all the time they want, but if results are bad, will they again stand the pressure? that will come from the fans. Pressure can come, but I don't think, in Potter's case, really, because it's English, I think the blowback isn't gonna come sooner or later. I tweeted something and I didn't specifically call his name. I think, Rodrigo, you saw that tweet. You saw what I was getting. I only said that, well, I'm still on the fence, really, at this point. And you can see what I got. And we're not the Chelsea of the past. Again, we have to accept this team is not good enough. We spent a lot of money on average players. Maybe just buying the biggest, hottest properties in Europe. We did a lot of that, Pulisic, Havertz, but these players have some good in them. Again, they're good players, actually, and we can get the best out of them. Potter is a Cessna pilot flying at A380. What goes up must surely comes down.
Must land smoothly.
Yeah, again, not even whoever it is, even Ancelotti, even if Ancelotti again is the pilot in question, he will run out of fuel someday. But I hope this one lasts, really. Chelsea wouldn't make top 4. So you're still driving the panic train. Top 4 is a must. We want to attract quality players during the summer window. It's important, really. So about giving him time, about not making top four not being an issue, it's a huge issue in terms of attracting players. Yeah, go ahead.
Coach, do we make top 4? And Rodrigo, do we do it? Yes or no?
No, we're not going to make
I can't say right now. If something doesn't change, if we're still being as reckless, I still seen that we played Aston Villa again, and we were lucky to have won it. We played Brighton, we were lucky not to have lost it. I think I'm missing one more game. Some other games we saw a lot of again. Yeah, you could say if such keep repeating, and again, this is not down to the manager. You can say we don't have enough players to make, in most cases, make changes. Again, if something doesn't happen, we'll probably we'll not even get the Europa Conference League, really. See how well Newcastle are doing. But let me read this. I want to bring IBZ in. He hasn't spoken, really. Go ahead. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, just quickly. You know what scares me is the emergence of Ten Hag. He's turned their team around. That's why.
And who was it that said, apparently, when we were talking about him, he usually doesn't have a good start wherever he goes.
Well, he has now.
Yeah, but he didn't start well, really. I'm just making the point.
Oh, I see.
I haven't given up on him. Yeah, go ahead.
A couple of games, though. That was only 2 or 3 games.
But it's still a bad start.
Because it's a technical style. It takes time to understand because
to implement
because the players need to know what area of the pitch they need to be. He's very technical. So even it takes time. So I'm worried about Newcastle. And because Newcastle don't have European games, they only have 1 game a week. So they can afford to drop out all the cup competition and just focus on the league.
They can make a push.
But they have some good players too. That we've been looking to take one of them from them, Gilmour. We are fans, again, they want everything to go our way. To be honest, let's remember all the drama during the summer. The sanctions and all this didn't help matters. If we're being truthful, we recognize that. I know, again, it's not going to be easy, but we shouldn't die in the process. Again, if we follow the punch, if you follow a punch, it won't hurt that much. In this case, the process should just be gradual. If it takes time, why be in a rush to implement it? I don't know what else. Can everyone except Pulisic isn't good enough for Chelsea? No strength. It can only score open goals. Again, adds nothing to the team. I think I don't agree with you on that one. Really. Again, let's be optimistic. We're gonna make the top 4. Okay. Hopefully, optimism alone will help us. Nathaniel Osio says again, we are not making the top 4. Oh my gosh, Roger really spitting facts today. No, especially if he wants to counter my argument, but that's okay. Now, Nightbot isn't a human being. Nightbot again is a machine, so we'll always again it's sometimes time you out if you use more than 3 emojis. So that's what happens. The players we have presently are just a 2 average with a big again names attached to them. And it says again, if we don't make top 4, I hope we don't make Europa League at all. Yeah, so that's next season we have just the Premier League. I think it makes sense, really. it makes sense because it will be a serious distraction for us. Or again, have plenty of time
coach,
to work on the team next season. So that's a good argument. So IBZ, yeah, go ahead.
We are too good to not finish. We are too good. We are too good not to be in European position. It's like even if we try our best, we're still gonna finish 7th. So we have to have a disaster season for us to miss all of them. And if it's a disaster season, someone has to pay. So we need to finish 8th. But I can't. There's no universe where I can see Chelsea finishing 8th because we will win enough games to be 7th or 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember you said this. Again, there's no telling what will happen. I need to see things change. Then, yeah, you can say my prediction is dynamic. I'll watch what's going on before. IBZ, big up, brother. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, big up, guys. How's
Hello.
everyone doing?
Big up, man.
Well, we're doing well. I can't complain. And again, thanks. It's always good to hear that everyone is doing well. Given what we have on the screen, what do you make of this comment? I understand. Again, to me, I don't know. Roger didn't really answer that question because I'm sensing that Roger is really very protective of Graham Potter.
No.
We're getting to that fight later. Here he says there's a process of pain that you have to go through and you have to keep trying to improve. Graham Potter, Adam, and Chelsea will have to suck up the bad days on their road to recovery. To me, even though this is true, I think this is badly worded, and again, the quote shows you this. His exact words. Your thoughts. I understand it will be a painful process. Again, you were one of those that started preaching about how painful it's going to be even before the season started. But I don't think he should be saying that, and I don't think it's being a painful process. We shouldn't implement the whole new approach at the same time. We shouldn't be suicidal with that selection like we saw against Brighton. And again, you were there on the panel when we talked about how risky it would be. But your thoughts on this comment overall?
Yeah, I saw it this morning. He's saying it. He's saying the same thing Tuchel's saying, but he's saying, "Listen, I'm here for the ride." He's saying it as it is, guys. If I don't know who wants you to, where do you want someone to tell you the truth? Do you want an Arsenal fan to tell you the truth? Do you want a United fan to tell you the truth? Your own gaffer's telling you, guys, we're not good enough. He told us in September, August, summertime, we're not good enough. He got sacked.
So you're saying he's saying we're not good enough in a very polite way.
In a very polite way, coach, gaffer, yeah, we aren't good enough. We're not as good as Tottenham Hotspur. We're not as good as Manchester United. We're not as good as Arsenal Football Club. Hell, only Liverpool have problems due to injuries. We are not good as Liverpool. We are not good as a squad. We are not good as a squad. We are not good. Individual quality there, yeah. But as a unit, as a squad, we have not been good for a very, very long time. We are not good enough. The only thing that's been helping us is probably been the guidance of a good manager. And obviously, it just came to hell on Saturday. I mean, he has the tools in front of him. The players, even if he picked an academy side, I mean, I believe he had no other option but to choose the selection he had. And, it is what it is. Now, what you do from here is understand that this process will be painful. I saw it in the summer. When we lost to Arsenal, Tuchel said, why is everyone expecting difference? It's the same team. So that was my wake-up call to say that, this guy's actually he's indirectly telling us, yo, we're not it this year, guys. So don't have this expectation that you want these guys to do Man City things, because it ain't happening. If you want a situation where you see Tottenham go down 2 goals down,
well, that's a defense mechanism, though.
And then come back and win 3 goals up, and you're expecting that from our squad. If you have any reason to believe this season you've seen it, then I want to see where you will see it happening. Because when we went down 2-0 down at Brighton, I thought we'll kind of get a consolation. We could have kind of got 2-1 up, but we kind of missed the mark. We missed it. I think it was Pulisic that hit it wide. So you can already see that even underneath the pressure itself, we can't get ourselves into the game back. It's okay. It's fine. I don't blame it down to the players. I don't blame it down to the managers. I just blame it down to the fact that we didn't put the right people in place in time for us to get us prepared for the season. And it's fine. It's fine. We've had sanctions. We've had a new owner. Someone has had to come in, change the whole philosophy of the club and get us prepared for a competitive league. where the demands are very high. So so why would I sit here and expect them to do better than what they did last year, considering? And even still, why would I expect them to match the levels of teams like Manchester City, who on the last day of the season won their league title through a turnaround? A turnaround, can Chelsea do that type of turnaround? I have to look at those things. I have to look at my opponents and say, can I do the things that they can do? And if I can't do the things they can do, why should I expect to be higher than they are? Why should I do it? So in this situation, Todd Boehly is fine. Todd Boehly will not put pressure on Graham Potter. All of this saying that Todd Boehly, all the comments I'm seeing, oh, if we don't get this, Todd Potter has to go. If he doesn't get this, no one's going anywhere, and you're still going to cry in your sheets. Yeah, I believe that the project at hand with Graham Potter is not even to qualify for Champions League this year, but to just redevelop the squad, get them rolling, and get them suffice enough so that in the next coming years we can reach that goal. So, in my opinion, I think it's a 4-year plan.
Do you think again? As much as I understand what you're saying, but the question I would ask you is this: part of being naive with the selection, like what we saw against Brighton, should that be happening more often because we need to be patient with him?
Okay, so it was naive against Brighton because we lost, but it was great against Salzburg.
No. It was never great for me. It was never great for me against Salzburg. We looked at the numbers after the game, and the argument was that it wasn't all rosy.
And it was
we
naive
were lucky,
again
really.
when we drew. It was get this man out when we drew against Manchester United at home. Now,
no, here's the thing. I didn't say that. I basically get my point, really.
Coach,
I want you to go back, look at the numbers, and we did a review here on Chelsea Perspective. We talked about how we were lucky, actually, Salzburg went efficient in front of goal. So did he pay attention to the numbers and started? No, again, here's the thing. I am with you. I'm for the prices, but I don't support as such because I'll still say it was again, he was naive with his selection, really. We could have approached the game differently, and it looks like he didn't even want to make a change to save things because Chilwell remained on the bench, didn't he? Go to a back four, at least change things around.
Made half-time subs. Yeah, okay. I would like a back four. I mean, I don't.
The damage had already been done by the time we get to half-time, really. When we 3 goes down by first.
Hey, coach, could I say something?
Should he make changes in the first 20 minutes of those goals going in? Should he have made changes? We were like, wow, what's going on? He made a half-time substitution for a goalkeeper that the panel.
How many goals were we down then?
Well, probably 2, 3. But
3 goals down. When we 3 goals down before the first half ended?
Yeah, well, you're 3 goals down. But what I'm saying is he made a half-time change for a goalkeeper that everyone was saying that he's our new number 1.
He was injured. He was injured. Kepa is injured. Kepa would have played the whole game if he wasn't injured. Mendy would have stayed on the bench where he belongs.
And Kepa asked to be replaced.
Yeah. Well, I wish I had.
So I basically get my point, brother. Again, we're all for the process. We understand, like I said, you've been one of the first during the transfer window saying how long it will be a long season.
Coach, I don't think anyone's ready for this process. Everyone say they are ready for the process to make it seem as if they're a patient bunch. We are not ready for the process. Do you know what a process is? Are we ready for a trophy later? Okay, we've gone, say, 2017 without a Premier League trophy. But are we really ready for a process of which we are not going to be receiving trophies? It's going to be hard for us. Can we sit there and say, yeah, we're ready for it without looking at another thing to say, oh yeah, we can't be
in the process blindly. We have to see milestone being achieved. Obviously, this is early, yeah. But
this is too early for us.
Yeah, but in any process, we can't be blindly accepted.
As far as I'm concerned, this is a manager picking up another manager's mess. So no chat on his name. He's picking up 2 managers' messes.
You don't seem to get my point.
He's overseeing.
IBZ, here's my point. We all understand we need to be patient. We all understand it's going to be a painful process. But we shouldn't be seeing the type of, again, to me, like you said again, as long as you're concerned, for me, as long as I'm concerned, the process shouldn't involve the type of, he even admitted he made mistakes. He made himself look like a fool.
He understands the mistake, but what
that's what I'm saying. It's simple. We all agree it's going to be a long process, but it shouldn't be as painful. It shouldn't be as painful as what we're learning. He's telling us it's going to be. We have to be gradual. Say it's a long process. Why not take it gradually? Why should we be trying to make everything start showing at the same time?
He's trying to deflect. He's trying to deflect any toxicity that may be brewing, and it will brew because of the fan base we have. Coach, let's call a spade a spade. Since 2004, most of our fan base, me included, have not seen anything but success. Let's keep it 100,000%. From FA Cups to Carling Cups to Premier League to Champions League to Europa League. Since 2004 till 2022, we ain't seen nothing but success. So what we need to understand is that type of success will not suffice. We probably won't have it again for a long time. Yeah? But what we have to do is understand the process that we need to get there. And it's not going to be sustainable if we're going to sack Potter and bring in another man to do a quick fix.
I haven't said sack the manager. I know you know that.
No. I'm not you saying that. I'm not, and when I say transfer, I'm not speaking of this the panel from here or so. It's just a discourse you hear from other panels of a
go ahead, brother.
You get an understanding. We have been blessed over the past 20 years, so since 2004, to see trophies. The model's changing. The landscape is changing now, and now we are in a process where we're going to have to. Yes, there's money. We have backing for it based on the previous regime, but we're going to have to grind to where we get to, because now there's other people doing it better than us, or probably even better. So, Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal Football Club, Manchester City, and obviously, if you want to argue Liverpool and what have you, there's 4 other competitors. When we were doing it in 2004,
and wait for Newcastle.
Yeah, and wait for God bless you. Wait for Newcastle. When we were doing it, it was just Arsenal United. We just took over Wenger and we ruffled Fergie's feathers. So
and Yeovil Town.
And we could easily do it. Now we've got 5, 6, 7 competitors. What are we talking about? And you're telling us if we don't compete or we don't prepare as much as those others, we are as good as a chance of getting on as them. Come on, we're Newcastle are 4th in the league. They're clear of us. Why? Not just because of good investment, but a direction of travel. They've all put people that we haven't got that yet, and it will come. Don't get it twisted. We're going to be good.
I see IBZ is a big fan of, again, having a structure in place, and it makes good sense. But go ahead.
We're going to be good.
Go ahead, IBZ. I want to catch up with the chat. I think we need to move on from the Potter topic. We have a lot to talk about, and we don't have too much time.
We're not going to be bad. I don't think. We're not going to be in a bad. This is teething period. This is what you're going to have to go through. So you know what happens when we are successful, coach? We come. I look at you, coach, and say, coach, remember them times when we were losing to Brighton 4-1? When we had this.
I hope it happens. I hope again.
That's how it
is. Coach, can I just say,
Arsenal? Look at Arsenal. Look at Arsenal. I envy them where they are right now. I can almost cry for them because I see we can never ever. If they win the Premier League, or even go close to it, no one can sit and say they don't deserve it. Why? Because we've seen them pain, we've seen them cry, we've laughed at them, we've bantered them, and look at them now. Do you think they're there because of what? Oh, because they've been bantered so hard they thought they're not taking in disrespect no more. They're there because of merit. They're there because of hard work. They're there because of preparation. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Not because of, we have to be at the same time. We have to take that discourse. Understand that we're going to take a little...
Coach, can I just say one thing very briefly?
Go ahead, please, again, because we have less than 20 minutes and we have a lot to catch up with. Sure. Go ahead, Roger.
I just want to say this one thing. IBZ, you are so correct about virtually everything you said. I just want
Roger, can I say quickly?
Yeah.
If you had said something differently, I would have asked you for your ID. I was going to tell you you'd be very proud of IBZ, but just go ahead.
Another uppercut.
Rodrigo went in trouble, but go ahead, Roger. So we can catch up with every other thing we have. We have less than 20 minutes before the show ends. Yeah.
Nice jab, then uppercut, coach. I love it. So the one thing is, you mentioned, but Liverpool's injured. But gentlemen, you also have to understand we're also quite heavily injured. You're missing Reece. You're missing Kante. N'Golo Kante, our best player. Then you're missing, well, I'm not going to use Fofana because I believe Chalobah is a very good, if not better. But then you've been missing, Koulibaly. So you know, we have been quote unquote semi-depleted in some regards. You need to take that into consideration.
Yeah, we have. But here's why I don't really give it a blight. Which one I give it a blight at the same time? Why am I saying that?
So if we do have those players, and then guess what? We would be in much better shape. We probably, for all intents and purposes, wouldn't be having this discussion.
What worries me is the fact that our best attacking outlet comes from a right back. Our best attacking outlet comes from our right back.
But so does Liverpool's. So does Liverpool's.
We are good enough to call the title.
Look at Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's their best crosser.
Yeah, again, if you guys can agree, I think we have a lot to talk about and we have just 20 minutes. And Rodrigo,
no, it's all right. It's all right. We'll move on that one. What I'm saying is let's just be realistic. This year is a roller coaster. Be ready for it.
We all agree to that.
Be ready for it.
Yeah, we all agree.
Roller coaster, it doesn't mean you roll out suicidal lineups. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It doesn't mean you roll out suicide because you could have done things differently on the day. That's the argument.
Suicidal lineup, my guys. He's working with them. Let him put the academy boys then. Fuck it. And all of the players aren't good enough.
No. IBC, I'm sure you understand quite well what we're talking about. We could have played the back four. Had Ben Chilwell, who didn't play against Salzburg on the left, had Aspilicueta, who didn't play against Salzburg, who didn't start against Salzburg, as right back player. That's just the argument. It's again, nobody's saying Potter out at this point. And even he agreed he made a mistake, really.
If he played a 4 at the back and he lost, the narrative would be like, oh my God, why did he play a 5 at the back? The guy can
nobody would say that, really.
I wouldn't say
nobody would say that.
IBZ, we don't have enough defenders to play back 3, back 5. So what happens is with it? We only have 2 fit centre backs. We have 2 left backs. We have a right back. That to me says you play a back 4. You can't squeeze a back 3 out of this kind of formation where you don't have enough place to play it.
IBZ, please, let's move on. Even Bluetooth game is that IBZ chose violence.
Who covered Aspilicueta on the right back on a back 4? Who covers him?
Well, he didn't play against Salzburg, so he was fit enough to start this game.
You're right, Rodrigo. You're right. But what happens if he gets injured in that system of a back 4? Who plays in there?
So now we worry about.
We have one game in between. We have a game that's a more formality that we don't really need him for.
Exactly.
That game you could experiment. You could just deploy the same lineup you deployed against Brighton and we'll be okay. But that's, by the way, I think the whole team, whether we like it or not, even without knowing it, the whole argument went back to the performance and selection against Brighton. But IBZ, you must reach out to Roger so you guys can always have a meeting on how you can continue defending Potter. Really,
I done that.
That's what I'm seeing there. But much love. Again, I like the argument when it makes it interesting. There's always something to learn. And IBC, like I said, you're one of those that started talking how long of a season is going to be, and it will be. But we should follow the punch. We should go against the grain. It's going to be much more blow against the wind. It will be much more painful. All we're saying, just find a way to make it less painful. We understand, but make it less painful. Can you imagine United and Arsenal fans again singing the Europa League anthem to us? That would break the heart, really, I have to tell you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it will be painful. If Chelsea don't make top 4, I'm not interested in the club again. Yeah, so you might as well just pack your load and start going immediately.
That's the definition of glory supporting. That's the definition of I do not support the club unless my club is winning. That's the definition of if Chelsea's not winning, I'm not supporting. That's if whoever's winning, I support.
Yeah, exactly. And guess what? And that's not okay, really. Again, that's not okay.
IBZ,
I grew up. Coach, since 2004, since my secondary school, since year 7, it's been like that. That's been the crack. We've been winning. Yeah.
Please, we don't have too much time. We have a few minutes around again. We haven't talked about Caicedo, Tielemans, and who was the other guy? One more person on the poster. But again, what do you want to say, Roger, quickly?
No, I just wanted to say I grew up where we were in the 2nd division most of my childhood.
Yeah. Wow. Again, you followed Chelsea long enough. I know that, but again, that's not a good comment there from you, Fawole. I get what you're saying. Again, it says, Coach, again, tell Potter not to break my heart. Well, I'll reach out. I think I have a meeting with him at 12. I'll check my calendar. That statement is an excuse for failure. That's how Liam Lane see it, and he has every right to see it that way. Again, the amount of receipt, this is hilarious. The amount of receipts that are out there, we have to finish in the top 4. We Arsenal fans will come and telling us how many times we say they don't have the squad depth to make it into top 4. But I'm thinking of the Whites now. They have the spirit, and the spirit is more important than squad depth, really. They have the fighting spirit in them. Of course, Porto is here again for the ride. He's on 8 odd millions a year. What do you think? Again, if you haven't, take a second to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, that will go a long way. I rather us again, Ike Icy, I hope you're doing well. I'll try to be as quick as possible. We have still a few more to talk about. Again, I'd rather us not be in Europa League at all so we can work on our team. Again, somebody else already said that, and it makes sense. I feel like when Chelsea don't make a top 4 or Europa, again, players will realize that this isn't the standard of Chelsea. Yeah, but I want us to make it the top 4 so we'll be able to attract the players. I hope Boehly understand that. I hope we're capable of doing that. Again, do I think we can? It's possible, but it's going to be really difficult. We have new entrants into the fold, like Newcastle. You see how well they're doing. Again, I watched other teams, and I watched Chelsea, and you can see, again, we don't play as a team. We don't play as a unit, really. Again, all individuals, no fluidity. No one knows, again, what the other player was. And again, you can say it's getting worse. Again, it's worse on the ground, but not because it's his fault, because he wants to change things around. And again, that means moving players around. Again, and it doesn't help chemistry. Chelsea make top 4, sign Ronaldo. Yeah, always. If you didn't say Ronaldo today, I'd say that wasn't you. For some reason, Chelsea players, again, carry themselves like they win Premier League, especially when they play teams like Brighton. Yeah, the charity FC factor, if you want to talk about it. Otis Maxwell, again, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I say if we don't get at least 2 more attackers who can get by defenders and have an end product, we will not finish top 4. Well, how many games before the World Cup starts? The break would do us a world of good, but how many games? Yeah, trust the process. I would trust the process. But again, the whole analogy of following the punch comes from the manager. If he can, again, be gradual about it and not try to be drastic with everything, I think we'll be good. But let's see. I think he's a smart man, probably must have learned quite a lot in that Brighton game. It's as simple as that. It was naive against Salzburg too, but again, the performance overshadowed everything. Nobody paid attention to the numbers to see we were actually lucky. We make too much noise and transfers only to end up with flops. We need a quiet business, less pressure on players to perform. Maybe that will help us go a long way. But yeah, good luck keeping things quiet at Chelsea. Even I'm sure some of them know when Todd Boehly gets into the toilet and can give you when he usually goes to toilet. Really, that's how things leak from Chelsea. We were again horrendous against Man United too. They were the better team. Again, that wasn't the worst of the performances we've seen of late. Again, it's only one game against a team that knows how to play that system better than us. We still created a lot of chances. Yeah, I get that argument of where you're coming from, but couldn't finish. Gallagher was the only good player on the day. Some people will tell you who was the worst player on the day. So it's everywhere, really. We need patience. Patience is needed, but let the manager please take it easy. Let it not be drastic. So we don't get into trouble. I'm going to stop reading because there's quite a lot to read, and I don't have too much time because I have to really go take my boy to school. But I'll be scrolling over this while the panelists talk. Again, while we discuss the final topic. We've talked about this one. Let me see. Again, Chelsea helped to finalize the appointment of Christophe Vival and Paul Winstanley this week. Again, a sporting director is not imminent because Todd Boehly is very comfortable in his current role. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Boehly.
Yeah, and he might not relinquish that role, probably enjoying the whole process. Again, he and Behad Ighali will remain heavily involved in January, probably beyond January.
Because that's if you're say you work for Todd Boehly, you work for his company. can you challenge him really? If you're under him, he comes up and he has this player that they've been obviously because he had the contact with agent and telling him this player. Can someone really challenge Todd Boehly? Because he's the owner.
It would be difficult.
It's difficult. Yeah, that's what I want him to.
Some people actually won't be able to do their job, right?
Yeah, they'll be scared to challenge him.
He's another Jerry Jones, is what he is.
Yeah,
which is the Cowboys owner.
Yeah, some good news here. Again, Reece James and Wesley Fofana will continue their rehabilitation program this weekend in Dubai. Again, a member of the Chelsea medical department will again accompany them. This guy Fofana is already off crutches. He is, right. And this guy again, James is still on some sort of braces. I saw him in the picture. I'm not sure what type it is. And here again, the Blitz against the IBC going to match a reaction show after the Arsenal game. The U-turn in it's gonna be box office. No, IBC doesn't give up that quickly. It's still even if we lose 10-0 to Arsenal, you still see him arguing again. Even here's the thing. I think him and Roger, he has again. You can say what's his name? Graham Potter. He has two good attorneys in Roger and IBC. Really, again, even though the fight wasn't whether again Graham Potter was bad or not, you can see IBC took him there. Really, that's by the way. You can say all of this again, but if we go completely backwards this season after all the money spent and the change in manager, then there will be again a huge reckoning. I think the whole thing will come down on Boehly. It doesn't make sense to spend that much money for Tuchel and then fire him. Let me see. Again, Sterling, Kai, Kukureya, Ben Chilwell, all were fantastic players and still are, but the pressure on them to perform comes with the big names. I think I agree with you on that one, really. Tony, I'm worried about, again, low grade, again, unbearable Man United and Arsenal fans singing crap anthems. What have they won lately? But the truth remains, again, the present matters, really. If they win in the league and we didn't win it, the present matters, really. Yeah, I know we'll always come back with, look, we've won this many times. Sorry?
City will win the league. Arsenal
again, I think it's a bit too tight up there, really.
No, it's not.
Such a shame we're not anywhere near them too.
Not us. We're not near, but you can say between all the teams there, you can say it's still kind of tight, really. And maybe it will become tighter.
City will run away with it.
Okay, I hope they do. I know I know the reason why you don't want Arsenal to win it.
No, it's not that. It's just because of the depth of squad they have.
Yeah, I think they have that. But again, even though I still think Arsenal don't have the depth to win it, I think, but they have the spirit. Look at the kid that came out after Saka got injured. Look how well he did. And had Saka been on the pitch, Saka hogs the lines. He wouldn't even be essentially to get those goals the way that kid did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's by the way, again, we're not a terrible team right now. We're Chelsea that wins dirty. Maybe. Again, IBZ chose violence. See, it's painful again. We sold Werner. Not really. Again, Caicedo will have the same problem if he signs again with the same price tag. The noise already again echoing again, and the pressure will go on. Again, they bought him for 4.5, and now they want to sell him for that much amount of money. Let's get into the Caicedo talk. I'm going to start with you, Rodrigo. Is he a player you want at Chelsea? And do you think he'll do well, really? And is he worth 85 million pounds?
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's how much we're hearing they want to sell him.
That's obscene.
Yeah.
The market is becoming obscene, gentlemen.
So what do you think, Roger? Yeah, go ahead. Is he a player you want to see at Chelsea at all?
It's monopoly money. I don't know. Is he that good? I don't know enough about him, but fudge, 85 million. Wow.
And you can say Chelsea fans are jumping onto that bus. We're not talking about the price tag at this point, again, just because of how well they did against us too. Yeah.
That's a lot of golf balls. Wow.
Yeah. Again, but what do you think, Rodrigo?
80. That is a lot. But Brighton spent what, 5 million to sign this guy?
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
around 5 million, 4.5.
Yeah, 4 or 5 million.
And
Yeah,
it was again, he was again Potter signing for them.
yeah.
And how much did they pay for Cucurella originally?
I'm not sure. I didn't check that.
22p?
11 million, something like that.
Yeah, their profit margins, that they're taking us for a ride.
Yeah,
That's exorbitant.
I think, to be fair, put the price tag aside, he's the closest player in terms of the way he goes about his business on the pitch to Kante. So if you get anyone to replace Kante, I know he's nowhere near good as Kante. Kante is a unique player, but
How old is
he does on the pitch, the way he sacrifices his game, the way he goes, he's like 23, 22. He's very young.
I think it's 20 actually.
20?
Let me check for you.
God.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he's
really young. Let me check for you, but go ahead.
Oh my God! He has this. He has the energy. If I watched again when he played against us, he was everywhere. Him and Stupinian, they were everywhere.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Blade of grass. So he has that energy. To play like Kante, something he requires that high volume, high energy, and obviously one thing that Kante has is his ability to read the game. He's only 20, so that will come with experience. So if we're looking at replacing Kante years to come, he's the ideal player. But now, what's funny is when Graham Potter was at Brighton.
Yeah, he's 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
Only 20. Wow.
Yeah.
And Graham Potter at Brighton said this player is worth 100 million. So now what is he going to do?
Potter he has to eat his own cooking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you think he comes to us? Do you think we get him?
The possibility is there. There's a chance, again, because you could argue Potter hasn't made his own signing, really. And if this is, again, if any player is going to be one of those players, he's going to call his signings, I think it will be this guy. Which means, Brighton knows quite well that he'd want him, right? So, which is why they're already quoting 85 million. I don't think it will be that high. I think the most will pay around 40 to 45, and it's worth it. And he's still young, really, 20. So, which means a lot of years ahead of him, and he's played underground Potter, and probably there could be the argument, again, if we get him, even when Cucurella is out of position, he'd be in the right place to save the situation.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, I must admit, I was impressed with him against us. He was everywhere. But, yeah, if he's that young, that means he's going to. And if Potter thinks that highly of him, how long has he been playing for Brighton?
1 year. just a year, maybe less. Less than a year, actually. Because I remember they signed him, he didn't have work permit.
So Potter must rate him as a person also, don't forget. Don't forget, Potter sees players as people, individuals first, and then players second. That's his philosophy. So,
I don't think your reputation matters. The talent is what he values. Talent quite a lot.
No, but also as a person. Yeah. But I think Potter also sees these people that are on the field playing football. He sees them as individuals first, then as players second. You know, that's how he builds his relationship. That's what he said in an interview. So that means he's a good person in addition to being a good footballer. That speaks volumes. It's a very integral part of building a squad is the chemistry and the ethical part of the individuals, how good they are as a person. So that bodes well. But we're not going to spend that much. I think you're right. It will be between 40 and 50 probably, which is still an awful amount. But you know what? If he's
that's the current market.
Exactly. That's what open market bears. Would you call him a box to box?
No.
Yeah, he has that, and he's capable of doing it. He's capable of staying disciplined. It depends on the whole thing comes down to the manager's demand. And here's something that he has that makes him different, which was why who was the one that again we were linked with. He had again a court case. I think the guy was why Chelsea was reluctant to sign him. Tottenham signed him.
Bissouma,
but I think he can say he's a well-rounded player than Bissouma is.
And younger.
Yeah, again, a lot of running. He reads the game quite well. He's a good passer of the ball too. But I need to look at them even more. I think he'd be a better signing for us than Bissouma is. But I don't know, a lot of money too. But go ahead, Rodrigo, if you wanted to say something.
No, I think it's worth it. I'll from all the midfielders we've been linked to him, Alvarez, the Ajax guy. For me, between them two, I'll definitely go for him. I think he Moises Caicedo. Because I see him as the perfect replacement for Kante, and he has one thing that he can be, because he's still so young. We can even mold him into a proper sitting DM, so he doesn't have to.
Potter is not going to mold anything into a sitting anything.
Yes. DNA.
I forgot.
But go ahead, Rodrigo. Really?
Yeah. So he could. For me, he's the perfect replacement for Kante. I think that's the one player that we need to think of. Like, we need to think of a profile like that going forward in the future, because obviously Kante is coming to his last leg. A player like a Jorginho, because Jorginho can still go on for another 3 seasons, I think. The way he looks after him.
If you can protect him, if you can babysit him, like Greentop said, he will still be productive for you.
Exactly. So you have someone like this guy next to Jorginho, you in business. Kovacic, Kovacic again is a unique player. I don't think you find players like Kovacic a lot, but Ruben can do that.
No,
Chukwemeka can do it.
You're one of those stereotyping Ruben, really. But go ahead.
Chukwemeka can do it. Maybe in the future, obviously with more experience, Chukwemeka can carry the ball well.
Yeah.
Maybe. The one that we need to really find an urgent need is Kante. And if you can find one that plays like Kante and they can also sit like a proper DM, that's just because I want to see us play a 4-3-3 with sitting DM.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
because seriously, without Kante, I've said this every day for every week, for every month I've been on this show, sir. We are a different team without Kante. Kante has masked our deficiencies from the day he signed his contract. He's that good. He just,
and that's why you guys ran him to the ground.
Yeah, no,
you're trying to let him go.
No.
You're offering him 6 months plus one month.
Yeah, which is contract. A joke. Which is an insult.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's one of the greatest players we've ever had, regardless of position, in my opinion. He's that good. So, if we can find a replacement, then, or someone as close to him in his DNA, then I would welcome that. I really would.
Yeah, I think Moises Caicedo will be a good addition to the team again, and again he starts again. I think he would change a lot. Probably will help Potter.
I didn't know he was 20.
Will help Potter implement his application again quicker than expected with him, because he already understands everything that Potter does, which was why probably they were able to stop us. As much as we think Potter know them quite well, and it's a plus. Yeah, and we forgot they know Potter too. And probably, again, Trossard said, you know what, play me as number, essentially, and I know what this guys will do. But that's, by the way, again, if we win, I'm going to catch up and I'll go to Eddie. Our next games, we won't make tough for. Okay, let's see. Again, quite some tough games lined up, really. Mason Mount created one chance. At least he created one, really. He was a 0. Please like and subscribe when you enter. Again, if you have not, it helps the channel reach a wider audience. Please drop a like again on the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Here we have again. Market is a joke. Teams see Chelsea coming again and put the price up 80%. Especially, exactly. The rich boys are coming. and the players don't have price tag, so there's no price gouging again. If again offense is being committed here, again it's a free form market. So yeah, they have every right to say we want to sell him for this certain amount, but I don't think we'll pay that much money. He's not 85 million because he's worth that again, and cannot be replaced. He's 85 million because it's Chelsea, possibly. Yeah, that may well be the case, and they know we're desperate too. Caicedo is very good, but not worth that money. There's a cheaper option out there. There are cheaper options, actually. Again, yeah, that's what you said, really. Also, just, again, have Western Brighton players. What language to use there. Like, we're raiding Brighton, really. Western Brighton players, in turn, makes us competent. Oh my goodness! I would just make us Brighton. Yeah, really.
We win the Farmers League anyway.
Yeah, we're just scooping it like products. Caicedo doesn't. Again, he's not worth that kind of. Again, 85 mil. The new recruitment team from Brighton. We get under. Again, we get us a similar player, and again, but if we really want to achieve something so soon, we need to get players, already established players like him. Getting Caicedo would do the same thing getting Cucurella did. Yeah, which means you need to get the whole Brighton team for it to start working at as soon as we think it should. But again, that's by the way, again, we don't need a players on the short list for the Nobel Peace Prize.
That's funny.
Oh my God.
I was expecting him to do something like this, and he just did it. I have a show to host, my friends, so just stop it. We need the 2023 Michael Essien. We need those type of players. Big up here all, my sister, Miss Alana Joyce, my sister from another mother. I hope you're doing well. Again, thank you so much for finding time to join the show. I know you're very busy. Master, Miss Alana, she recently finished her master's program, so congratulations to you again. I couldn't be prouder of you. Go for the doctorate degree. I know you're smart enough, you can do that. Catching up on the latest news, that's again good of you. Hi coach, why that Mania is spending excessively for common signings? You're having to dig at us right now. Are you talking about Barcelona or Chelsea? Because I can come back at you with one, given how much you guys spent, but you didn't spend much actually. A lot of free signings for you guys. Hi Lolo, I hope you're doing well. Makalele was our best ever DM. You can say all the DMs we've had made it their own. I think all the DMs we had defined their own way of playing the DM role. Makalele was different. Michael Essien, whenever he plays there, he was different. What's his name? The Brazilian didn't play there more often. Sometimes they play him on the flanks because of his pace. Ramirez, when he played there, he was different. When Mikel played there, he was different. So I think even Kante is different. I think that role, I haven't seen any two individuals play for Chelsea, and it's the same really. But they have one thing in common. They have something in common. Those ones have something in common, except for Jorginho. Physicality, they had it. They fight. You don't take the ball away them easily. The most, Mikel was the one, he can shield the ball from 10 players and they can't get it from him. Makelele's ability, his agility, ability to read the game pace. And let's not go into it again, maybe another day. And Lolo, nice to see you. Thank you so much. And Fawale, coach, yeah, they need them. Maybe, yeah. Let's get into this guy here. Again, Roger, you've spoken about him, right? Oh, Eddie, we have Eddie in the house. Apologies, Eddie. How are you doing? I hope you're well, brother.
Hello.
Hello, Eddie.
Hi,
how are you doing?
Hi, hi, panelist. Hi, Roger. Hi.
Hey.
Rodrigo.
Hi, man.
Yeah, good.
So, Eddie, your thoughts on Caicedo? Even without talking about the price tag, is he a player you think we can get? And do you think he'll make any difference for us?
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. He's done well. I mean, he's only been in the Premier League just this season, I think. Joining them this season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and so He's been doing very well for Brighton, and I think there was a time he was actually linked to Manchester United, and for €5 million or £5 million. I can't remember what he was, but they didn't go for him. But for me, 85 million is too huge for a player like him. Just one season in the Premier League. I mean, if we talk of paying or willing to pay 85 million for this player, then why are we not going to get Declan Rice for 120 million then? We are ready to cop out 85 million.
You'd rather Declan Rice or over Caicedo?
Oh yeah, if we started off bidding for Declan Rice with 85 million and push it up to 100 million, it's a better buy. 100 million pounds rather than pay 85 for Caicedo. I'd rather pay 100 million pounds for Declan Rice. One is English player, homegrown. That further gives us our English quota, homegrown quota, and then he's well known to the Premier League. He's been doing it for years. He's just
How about what I think will be the most important? How about what I think will be the most important aspect of the whole thing? The way Graham Potter plays.
And like we said it before, Graham Potter doesn't play with a holding stick.
And he's not a holding stick. He's not a holding stick.
I know Caicedo is not a holding stick, but Declan Rice, I know Declan Rice as well is more like a box to box. We can be changed to a box to box kind of Declan Rice. So for me, going for Caicedo, I mean, I'm not trying to say Cucurella now, because there was a time I said about Cucurella he's only spent one season with Brighton and we paid 50-something million for him. And you see, we can't keep buying players like this. I know somebody, I was reading from the chat, somebody writing.
You could say the owners, the plan is already in motion for us not to be paying big money for players. We're signing a lot of young players, and the reason being, we don't want to be spending that much money in the transfer window. Again, you could say it would take like 2-3 years for that to materialize fully. But I get your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, but not for 85 million. If we are saying 85 million for him, what about Jude Bellingham? How much would Jude Bellingham cost then? So if we are setting a benchmark for ourselves on players like this, I know it's not from the club, so we can't take everything hook, line, and sinker. Like, we can't just believe whatever we read on the pages of newspaper. So this could be speculation and also, but if anything shows the fact that the club is willing to go as high as 85 for this player, then we should be ready. If we're going for Declan Rice, they should be telling us about 150 million. So, but I don't believe this anyway. I don't believe Chelsea will go for 85 million for this. Just as they said, Chelsea made a bid of 50 million for Lavia, what's his name, from Southampton. And it turned out to be false. So all these things, we cannot really agree or believe and discuss about it. And then we tend to push up the price tag for players that Chelsea is linked to. So, but I don't think 85 million, if they say, oh, yeah, we're ready to pay 85 million for Caicedo, it's a no for me. No, it's too much.
While I'm still with you, I understand the argument, but I think we need to realize there's no way Chelsea paid that much money for him. If you remember all the stuff we had out there regarding our pursuit of Fofana, we end up paying around 65, really. Even though it was already out there. Right. Yeah, I want to ask you about these two players here. One of them is this guy, Tielemans, Youri Tielemans. And the other one is, what's his name? Andres Trossard. For Trossard, for sure, I think I've seen what he's capable of doing, and I followed him again long enough. For Tielemans too, I followed him long enough, but I don't really think he makes us better, really. I think you could say for me, the only difference is that, again, what he does differently is that he can shoot from outside the box, and that's it. What do you think of the two players? Both are going to be free agent again next year. But the case of Trossard is slightly different in the sense, I think Brighton has an offer to extend it by a year, which means I think they'd rather sell him probably in January. Because after the extension, he still leave them on a free. It wouldn't make any sort of sense. But what do you think? Which of them, do you like both players, or do you, again, to you, if one, which of them do you like? And do you think we should be looking at getting them both?
Yeah, the only reason I would say we get them both is because they are free. Like Tielemans is free. So if we say Tielemans is free, but we remember
what would Tielemans add to our team, really?
Yeah, you just said it as well.
To me, overall,
he can shoot from outside the box. He can shoot from outside the box. Yeah, only
go
that.
ahead.
I don't see any. That's why I said the only reason I would say Tielemans is because if we get him for free, that's the only reason I would say yes, Tielemans. But apart from getting him for free, I don't see Tielemans.
Free stuff, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
carry
I
on.
don't see.
Carry on.
Yeah, I don't see Tielemans. I don't see Tielemans as upgrade, massive upgrade to what we already have in terms of changing whatever we say. Okay, he's a free agent, and then are we going to discard Gallagher? Are we going to discard Mason Mount? Are we going to truncate the development of Chukwuemeka? Remember, we have
where does he fit in, really? Eddie, go ahead. I'll be back just in a minute.
Yes.
He's a
So where does
surplus
this
to
fit in?
requirement.
Really? It will be surplus to requirement. The only thing it will be, okay, is a free player. Okay, do we just go for the sake of having another player because he's a free player? You know what I mean? So I don't really think we should be thinking about for Trossard 100%. Yeah, we can't have Trossard. Trossard is a very good player. He can add something to us because he can play off the wing, come out from the wing from the front three, either from the left, from the right, or whatever. And so Trossard for me is a yes.
Yeah, again, Trossard definitely is a yes. I think, but here's the thing: Brighton isn't a player's shopping plaza, really. We're talking about Trossard, and we're talking about Caicedo. You could say these are two of their best players, but in the case,
and the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And the goalkeeper, yeah, we've actually been linked with the goalkeeper, yeah.
Yeah, so they're not players shopping plaza.
Are they turning to our feeder team? Are they turning to our feeder team?
Yeah, exactly. I think they're not going to be happy. I think they start feeling disrespected, actually. Let me catch what we have in the chat.
Todd established a very good relationship with the owner, Brighton owner. So established a very good relationship with them. But I don't see the fans
you will ruin. Here's the thing, Eddie.
Yeah,
they have a good relationship, but you will ruin that relationship if you keep coming back to be saying you want their best player.
Yeah, the only way you won't ruin the relationship if you keep paying over the odds for his players.
Oh yeah, money makes up for everything.
Yeah, that's it. So it will only take the fans. It might only take the fans to protest or something drastic for that to stop. But if you keep paying over the odds, like for Cucurella, I believe we overpaid for Cucurella. So if we kept, because that was why City walked away, they didn't pay. We ended up paying 50-something million.
Yeah. Again, if you haven't, drop a like on the video. We'll be rounding the show. We have about less than 10 minutes to round. If you haven't, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for 47 likes. Let's try and get it to 50 likes as soon as possible. A lot of says we don't spend 90 million euros in one random signing. Yeah. You guys have become free signing merchants, really. Barcelona and what Laporta said, you guys will do more of that in January. You don't buy raw materials. What did I do to this guy, really? You don't buy raw materials. Sorry, my son is getting ready for school and he had to come here get some ask me something. You don't buy raw materials for 85 million. You buy a finished product for this especially during a process. Yeah, exactly. You want everything to be again authentic, well tested. Again, a fair weather again. Yeah, again, let's say again. Is Klopp mad? Why is he swapping Alisson with Manuel Neuer? What I don't know really. Fabrizio Romantic, your name. I really do like it. Really, we don't talk about every club here. We talk about every club on the sister channel. It's called Soccer Perspective. If somebody can share that with him so that he can go subscribe, maybe you join us there and we talk about your club if you're not a Chelsea fan. And Tielemans is a superior, incisive passer than all our midfielders. Really, I haven't paid attention that well as as being a long shoot, again, a shot specialist. However, I have reservations on him. He gives the ball away a lot. This your comment started very well. I was thinking maybe I'm going to change my mind. And then he gives the ball away a lot. And he isn't great defensively. And his numbers last year, he had 6 goals, 4 assists. The previous year, that's 2020, 2021, 6 goals, 4 assists. Wow, it looks like it's measuring. 19-20, he has 3 goals, 6 assists, more assists than. Yeah, I think we should be looking for assists. That's players who can be midfielders who can get at least double digits. And again, from the central area for assists. Yeah, maybe we'll start talking about getting that person and then considering what to do with what we have already. Muller to Chelsea, it confirms. So when he arrives, the midfield will be good. Yeah, I think you're a troll now. Oba and Benzema swap there done for Chelsea. Okay, I'm not going to read your comments again. Let's see what we have here. I'm not even sure about a Trossard. Again, I think we should terminate any further business with Brighton. To be honest with you, last season we said Cucurella was the best player. Where there's again,
you know
it's
what
too early
doing?
to judge.
I'm gonna have a conspiracy. Maybe Brighton will start giving Player of the Year to any of their players to get
so that we can bring the big money.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's the thing. Again, don't judge Cucurella so quick. Go look at his numbers. I still don't think it's a bad start for him. Really, it's been everywhere, and the whole issue that exposed our defense stemmed, again, those issues stemmed from the midfield, not really his fault. And I'm saying that probably, and I can defend it. Don't worry, fans. We have the Brighton recruitment team now. Our future is bright. Yeah, but if you really want to do something now, it would mean go to getting those guys. And to my brother, DJ, he says, big up Kuchela and everyone in the stream. What trusting DJ, what did I do to you? I thought you were just going to end with blue morning and everything. Now is the time to give Zakaria the opportunity. No Kante or J5. We crumbled, especially in the midfield. Yeah, that is really what happened, really. But it remains to be seen what Graham Potter does. It'd be a solid argument to say, had Zakaria been on the bench, at least would be more defensively solid. On the pitch, would be more defensively solid, really. Salil, Sal, nice. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't, please take a second to, again, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. Nobody Sanchez saying hi again. Anything else? I don't think there's anything else to address here. He says, again, just watch the game against us. Just watch the game against us. His passes were carving us open consistently. Same against Man City. If we did go for him, I wouldn't mind. Okay. I'll take a look again at his passes. Maybe I don't know him too well. But that's by the way, Rodrigo, your thoughts. Again, we have the 3 players. You've seen all of them. Tielemans, one of them, Trossard, one of them, free agents. I think somebody mentioned, Kim Suda mentioned one player, I don't remember, that's a free agent too. But what do you think about the 2 players? Your thoughts?
Yeah, and they're both Belgian. So yeah, I'll go for.
Oh yeah. They're both Belgian talents. Yeah.
Yeah, I go for Trossard. Yeah, when I watch Tielemans, I always feel like he doesn't have the stamina to last 90 minutes. I always see him gas out in games after like 70 minutes. You see him walking around the pitch. It's not exactly what we need right now. We have enough players in that position. The only thing, obviously, offers us different to maybe, I don't know, just shooting outside the box. What's that? How many goals does he score from shooting outside the box?
He's got some quick feet too. Are you talking about Tielemans?
Yeah, Tielemans.
Oh no, I don't know about his quick feet, but Trossard has quick feet.
Trossard has quick feet. Trossard is good. I think Trossard is I think is maybe like now he's probably better than Sterling as of now. Yeah.
Oh no, he's overall technical ability. He's way better than Sterling.
It's probably not hard.
Oh no, Roger, that's not a low blow. That's a fact.
Roger knows. Roger is actually just joking. He knows that Trossard is more technically gifted than Sterling.
And he's gonna be free. I heard like Atletico Madrid are also looking at him. So we better snap him up quickly in January.
If you want to snap him up, then you must go start talking to Brighton right now. If you don't start
after the World Cup, we don't have to talk to Brighton in January because he's a free agent.
Oh, he has to. Then he'd be free to talk to other clubs.
We'll do like what Rudiger did
to us. Outside the Premier League.
Outside the Premier League, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
That's another point. Hey, thank you, Eddie. Thank you for pointing that out. Plus, after the World Cup, there'll be too many clubs looking at him.
So we need to start talking to Brighton now. We need to be really nice to them because we want.
Yeah, or maybe just give them some money so they don't lose them on a free. If we really want him.
Yeah, that's exactly what we. The only what we have to do is just to pay money in January. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, we want him. We want Caicedo. We want the goalkeeper. What else do we want? Maybe preferably also take the owner.
The January window doesn't come until after the World Cup. So if the discussion will start, it has to start now, before the World Cup. If he has a very good World Cup, the January fee, even though it's January and it's running down his contract, will be huge.
Yeah. So Rodrigo, go ahead, drop so I can bring in Roger so he can again round things off for us. And I hope he doesn't talk about Potter in the process. But go ahead.
Ouch.
Go ahead, Rodrigo.
No, it's finished.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much again. Roger, your thoughts on these two players we talked about. Again, you can also talk about everything else we talk about. We have about just 1 minute or 2 minutes. So I have to take my boy to school. You know, the show started. Time difference changed. I think daylight 7 or so. But go ahead. Your thoughts on Trossard and Tielemans. Should we go for them both? I'd say even though it's on a free, I really do not want Tielemans. But Trossard, yes. Given that he's worked, yeah. Go ahead.
For once, I agree, sir. Listen, Tielemans, he scored a great goal against us in the FA Cup final. Or was it League Cup final? I forget which one it was. That was a worldie that beat Kepa. But no, I prefer Trossard. He's got very fast feet. He kind of reminds me of Bobby Firmino, in some stylistic manner with his feet. But I rate him. Look, he would be our leading scorer already. I don't know what his age is.
He's physical, he's quick, he's got quick feet.
How old is he, Coach?
Yeah, he has everything in him.
How old is he?
I think he's in his prime. Let me check.
Yeah, 26, 27?
No, I think around, let me see. Trossard, age, probably around 27. Yeah, 27. He's in his prime.
Realistically, he's better than Pulisic and Sterling right now, currently.
It's a solid argument. His output is undeniable.
Sorry?
Even Kai Havertz. I include Kai Havertz in that.
I love Kai, but I know what you're saying. Different positions, though.
Yeah, well, his energy, his work rate for us would be immense.
Sure.
Yeah.
So is Kai's, though. Kai's has very good output also.
Yeah. Go ahead, Roger, go ahead, round up so we can call it a day again. We've been a long one.
I would be happy. I know you have to go, so I'll just leave it at that. I'd be very happy. It depends on the price tag, but yeah, he's... But, that means by getting Trossard, this, in essence, is an admission of failure for getting Sterling.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we should get Trossard. Again, we can get him for cheap because Brighton are fully aware. Even they have an option. But here's the thing: I don't think he can talk. They have an option to extend it, and instead of losing him on a free, they extend that option, and I think it's an automatic option. Yes, again, it's a hard one to take. That's the truth. And DJ said, please, no more Pulisic and Sterling as wing back. Let him go ahead, do it again. He'd be the one, not me. Like I said, if I see that during the pregame show, I'm not going to do the watch along. I'll just say I have to go take care of something. It depends on who we're playing against. We got away with it against Salzburg, no matter how we see it. But that's, by the way, AD, you have any final thoughts, or should we just go ahead?
Yeah, I just want to say finally, I don't know if you touched, because I didn't come in early enough the program, but for the show. But if it wasn't talked about, the defeat to Brighton has made the game against Arsenal a must-win rather than a must-not lose. If you understand what I mean.
And that is if he didn't start. If he leaves those guys that started against Brighton, a majority of them on the bench, let's see the reaction against Arsenal. Because if they play against Zagreb and beat Zagreb, then again we've gotten the reaction. Yeah,
but it made the game against Arsenal a must-win rather than a must-not lose.
Yeah, and I just wish that was the next game we play.
Go ahead. They have to win. It's a must-win now for us. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's very important we win that game, but I only wish that was the next game we're going to play, but unfortunately it isn't. I want to say thank you to, again, Roger, again, Graham Potter's lawyer, for always bringing the fight here. I think you won today. IBZ came with so much energy and supported you, and I knew you'd be proud of IBZ. Yeah, was I wrong? I wasn't really, but always fun, really. Always, again, a very civilized,
Great
again,
show.
a debate,
Great show.
a lot. Yeah, a lot to learn from everybody. I appreciate you so much, Roger. I hope you know that. I appreciate you so much, AD. I know you're a very busy man, but whenever time allows, you always find time to join. I want to say thank you to all of them again. As you can see, Roger's still not using his Twitter handle, but I'll start sharing his information in the chat. Same as AD, so you can go again and follow them. Thank you so much, guys. I cannot thank you enough. It's been a brilliant show. And to those in the chat, the captain of the house, Liam Lane, I thank you so much again for all the suggestions, advice on what the channel can do for the community to become even better. I appreciate that. Thank you from DJ So, my brother from another mother. I love you so much, bro. Thank you so much for finding the time to join. Thank you to Supreme Quads, and all the other people, Victor Arayere, again, Fabrizio, yeah, Romantic, again, I thank you guys all. The Queen of the House was here too. Miss Alano, with Josviola, and if I missed your name, apologies again. I'm in a hurry to go do something. I hope to see you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.